Welcome, Internet, to the Play Some Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Dat Ninja Dev, joined, as always, by my main men, Donnie Eat the Hype Reese and Delvin, the Holy Ghost of Podcast Cox. How are we doing this evening, gentlemen?
Doing good.
It's only Wednesday.
Good. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
I've been a good mood. Today's my son's birthday. Happy birthday, Delvin Jr.
Happy birthday, little D. I hope you stole some good stuff from your father.
Yeah, my wallet stole all,
you earned
all
it.
these goddamn gifts and
You deserve it.
taking them to go eat. Motherfucker's 17 years old now.
Jesus. Oh, my God.
He's ready to step to you.
Oof.
Yeah.
Getting
That
close.
shit not ever happened.
Punch him in his chest and fold him over.
Well, it's your dad. You need to sit the fuck down.
I will go like Sting and grab the goddamn bat.
Time has come, old man.
Oh, that's good stuff. Damn,
About to
17.
About
Oof.
Yeah.
to treat you like Debo.
Yeah, probably.
What you mean
You know, it
about to?
always
He's
happens.
already treating him like that. Stealing all his
That's
games,
true.
his consoles, everything.
Delvin's hiding his chain and shit.
Stelvin Jr. Stelvin Jr. I'm going to tuck mine in.
What you got, Dad? No.
I'll tell you
man.
guys this. I was talking to him today. I'm like, hey, you know, when you become 18, got to call Uncle Donnie and Dev down in Miami. We got to take you to a strip club for the first time. He's like, what? Why would I want to do that? I say, what are you talking about? This is a coming
rite
of
of passage.
age passage. You have to go through it. I say, don't worry. When the time comes, they will be getting the phone call. And they will be coming to Miami, and that will be handled.
South
You
Beach.
just sit back, relax. Don't worry. You got one more year.
While there's still a Miami to go to.
Right.
No, probably not.
You got to listen to that podcast, man. This is wild. I was like, damn, I had no idea.
Miami's horrible.
Apparently, we're about
Not
to
even gonna
lose
lie.
Miami to the earth.
No. Won't be missed.
I mean,
Some glacier.
isn't
in
it already
Alaska they're
lost?
trying to do. Apparently, they're trying
It's
to build
already
a
lost.
wall or something around South Florida. Costs like $20 billion. All of this weird.
What?
Didn't know. Yeah.
They do all kind of stupid shit.
Listen to the podcast. I posted it in Discord. In the World's on Fire chat. There's some glacier in Alaska that's melting in the next 50 years, and it's going to put the world at risk, apparently. Supposedly, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But they've got plans.
Great.
Their plan, apparently, one of the plans to combat it isn't to move or anything like that. It's to build a wall to hold the water out. Like, I don't think that's how that works, but
Right.
I mean,
It's
I'm no
just
engineer.
gonna Eventually, just
I'm no.
go
That's not
over
it's like.
the
We're talking
wall.
about the
Just-
ocean. It's not like a lake or something.
You've made it worse because now the water can't go anywhere else. It's just gonna go into your bowl. Like
Oh, wow. Look at this.
Yeah, pretty much.
water world.
Oh,
John
My
32.
man.
I stopped playing Ragnarok.
John
for
32.
PSVG. He's here for the
You are the
live
man,
show.
sir.
Do it live. But yeah, it's
Well,
only Wednesday.
what kind
It
of
feels like
plug-in
a
that
Friday.
message?
Like it feels like it should be a Friday. It is only Wednesday.
yeah.
That's how
I
I
am
feel.
tired.
Yeah. It's my Thursday. I'm off work on Friday. It's my son's
Nice.
birthday
Solid.
on the 20th, so we're going to Legoland. So
Legoland.
yeah.
Oh,
You've never
okay,
been.
that's great.
Yeah.
I've never been either.
It's one in California?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
We
It's
have one
down
nearby,
here.
and I've never been. Yeah,
I didn't know there were more than one. This is
I
news
have
to
no
me.
interest. I'm like, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I've
I
only
mean,
been
yeah,
one
it's not
time,
for me. It's for him.
and when
I'd
I
still
went,
be
I had
good.
the flu.
I'd
It was
send
the
him
worst
without me.
experience of my life.
You'd send a 7-year-old to
horrible.
Legoland by himself.
It's not a bad idea.
No, I'd send him with other people, just not without me. You missed the part that you should have focused on is without me.
Well, I got it, Donnie. Jeez.
You're like, how much
like the-
money do I need to give you for me not to have to be included?
I go to Orlando all the time, so in theory, he could technically go with me.
Right. No,
There
you,
you
you
go.
were saying you said you had the flu or something?
With the last month with the Legoland, I had the flu.
Why'd
It was
you go?
horrible.
And you went?
Yes,
What?
because
That is
this is when I was still
What the f-
married.
this
and this is one of the reasons why
COVID
I'm not
fucking
married.
went nuts.
Right.
This was like
Right.
Some people got no respect for
I
others.
didn't feel bad in the morning. When I got there, I started feeling horrible, and I was like, "I'm gonna go home." And they were like, no, we just got here. You have to stay here. So I spent my whole time at Legoland laid up on a bench, passed out, just looking horrible.
Just
and
contagious.
I told him I would never come here again.
Bring in the raft.
I don't know
to
what
other
happened.
people.
You didn't like stop and say maybe I shouldn't buy a ticket. Maybe I should just go
I
get in
never
the
dawned on
car.
him. He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna go."
I didn't start feeling
Fuck
sick
these
until I
kids.
got into Legoland.
Fuck these kids' parents.
Like literally,
Wow.
like 30 minutes.
Can you
into
guys hear
Legoland, I
the
was like,
shower
"Man."
going on above me?
No, I don't hear anything.
A
All right.
little bit. I heard a little bit, but it sounds like background noise. It's not. It's
Hopefully,
ambient
it's not going to
sounds.
be
It's not
bad for the
noticeable.
listener or something. Apparently, somebody just
It's not
decided
noticeable.
to take a bath. Is what
It's not
happened.
noticeable at all. At all.
I apologize, listeners. Not as much
Yeah,
as Delvin should apologize for infecting becoming patient zero at Legoland that day, but
Look here. We're in Florida. They don't give a fuck about none of that. This
So
is
there
the
was
same-
something
this
way
is the
worse
place
than
of
his
freedom,
flu
as they
there.
say.
that's true.
Yeah,
And this
they
is how
were like,
DeSantis
hey.
was made.
They were like, fuck these masks, fuck these kids.
Fuck this
You go out
country.
there and make some goddamn money for us.
Yeah.
Get your ass back to work.
Damn.
Jesus.
That's what happened.
That's the state
Yeah.
of the country. Yeah. This is where we are.
Yeah.
Florida. Trendsetters.
Can we
Yeah,
we go ahead and grant them their wall and just
He was selling
they
to
can
Cuba.
become their own country? No, I don't want to do that to Cuba. Like, no. We just need to wall them off from the rest of the world.
Well,
So
Florida's kind of.
not the ocean wall
Like-
to save them from the flooding. You want like
No.
a land wall.
Yes. I'd
Yeah.
like to protect everyone else from Florida because when you go to Florida, they're not locked in there with you. You're locked in there with them. You don't want that.
That should be on the sign when you enter Florida.
Yes. I agree. Can we do like an escape from New York situation where
The
they
Florida
just like,
tagline.
wall off Florida? Or like, what is it? Arkham City where they block off Arkham from everybody? Yeah, do that.
That's it.
Just do that shit. Just block it off. You
Wow.
can't. Nobody can come in here unless you're fucking Batman. That's it. Let's just end it there.
I wonder how many people
Unless
just
you're-
look like Batman.
a
a good
lot.
question.
This is Florida.
Too many.
A lot of crackheads dress up like superheroes all the time here. It's not new.
What the f-
I live in a crazy place. Crazy people live here. It's just nuts here.
I mean, just the story of the whole house thing last week. Yeah, it's nuts. Jesus.
True.
Yeah, go to Orlando. Machine gun signs everywhere. Machine gun America. It's just like this is like just insane. Looks like
How many machine guns do you own?
none. Apparently I'm lacking. I should
you're-
own more.
You're definitely tripping.
I should own like 7.
You're
At
hurting the
least.
average. You're bringing the ratio down.
And apparently D-Life Daniel told me like this is a common thing in Florida. How have you never seen this? I'm like, I've never seen these big ass buildings that
No, I
like
knew
the
that.
American flag.
Yeah, I knew that
It
ahead of time.
just says
That's not
machine
new.
guns everywhere.
That's not new.
See, I'm used to the regular gun stores that look like
Pawn shops.
they're just like in the script.
Yeah.
Yeah, like pawn shop. That's
Gun
perfect.
Bars
store,
on the
liquor
window.
store, liquor store, gun store. You know, that's how it is.
Exactly.
You got to
I'm
get
not
out
used
of
to
the
this.
Miami area.
That's what I've been trying to do. I just going to Orlando. Like, hey,
Delvin's
different.
discovered Florida, like the Florida the rest of us knew about.
it's weird
He's
because
like, what's going on out here?
for the people who don't know, I went out of town this week, and I stayed in a different part of Orlando, and I guess that's what it is. It was so different. I didn't notice all the weird shit about Orlando that I didn't realize before, like all the gun stores and all the bombastic designs on the gun stores and all the signs about getting guns and America, fuck yeah. I'm like, I've never noticed this before. And it was jarring to me.
What part of Orlando were you in before? But just like the Disney area of Florida? Is that what it was? It just walled you
Yes.
off from reality?
Surprised they don't sell guns.
Yeah,
Mixed
you
package.
gotta stay like near Disney. This time I stayed in Kissimmee, and it's a little closer to Universal where I went. And then that's where I kind of noticed all these signs. And I stayed on the main strip. In a pretty decent hotel with a swimming pool and stuff like that. And I didn't
Did
notice
you
none
actually
of
go
this stuff.
swimming?
No. because
you lied.
when I was going
You
to go
lied to us.
swimming, I'm
You
gonna
said
tell you
you
what
was gonna
happened.
get in the pool.
Too many
This is
goddamn
bullshit.
kids down there. It was way too many kids down there. I miscalculated my trip because I was like, I'll go down here. Nobody celebrates Veterans Day like that. I was fucking wrong. There was a bunch of people out there celebrating Veterans Day.
Well, you went to the place that had all the machine guns, and you expect them not
And all
to
the
celebrate Veterans Day?
Yeah.
Like,
All the
come
veterans.
Yeah,
on.
it was crowded in the hotel I stayed at. It wasn't as bad at Universal. Like I went to Universal at 9 a.m. and left at 11 and wrote everything there.
Wow,
That's how easy it was.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I was left at 11, came back and everything. And it was just, went to the pool. It was a bunch of motherfuckers at the pool. Like, oh, nope, not doing that. It wasn't like it was like, if it was like a good ratio of adults and kids, I'm like, I'll go swim in the pool. It was nothing but kids. Like it was like 20, 30 kids. If I would took my old ass out to that pool with 20, 30 kids to sit there, just hop in the pool, someone would have called the police. Like, yo, what are you doing?
Hi, kids.
Y'all mind if I take a dip? Just take off my shirt.
Oh God, no. On that note, no more of that. No more of that. Tell me about what you've been playing. Jesus Christ,
What just happened?
we took a detour.
I'll be
We
honest,
just
like,
we
I
took a
cannot do that.
detour.
That's
Detour.
That ninja dev.
And it was a bit more than a detour.
Yeah. Do you see how this looks?
I'm about to have to make another bumper.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought wise of that decision of going out there shirtless and hopping in that pool quickly.
Jesus.
But yeah, God of War's awesome. We've talked about it last week. It's a great game. I'm loving it still.
For the audio listeners, the Winter Gamer just said you want to see a dehydrated eggplant.
Yeah, that
Oh
definitely
my
got me in jail.
God.
That
God.
definitely been a problem. But yeah,
You can't even-
playing God of War, loving it. It's great.
But how
let's
many
talk
hours in
about
are
the
you?
game that Donnie want to talk about.
What game is that?
Not many, like 3, 4.
That's it? Still?
Atari 50, baby.
Oh fuck! Not this again.
Please no. No.
Yeah,
It wasn't good back
yes.
then. It's not good
no,
now.
no.
Let's
Definitely
just
isn't.
stop.
if you didn't hear Donnie on the podcast that he was on this past week, what was the name of Donnie so people can check it out?
I had the honor and opportunity to go make an appearance on the Player One podcast with CJ and Phil. I was filling in for Greg, where I trashed them for like Atari
Yes.
games.
Most people go on other people's podcasts to be humble, be respectful, be positive. Not motherfucking Donnie Reese. He goes on and scorches earth and just slanders Atari.
They may not
And
bring me back.
rightfully so, by the way.
They may not. They may not bring me back.
Jeez.
When I heard
I showed my
That
wife. She was
moment.
like, "You're so rude."
when I heard that moment, boy, was I laughing.
I was just being nice. I was just being mean.
I was like,
That's Donnie being Donnie. You know what you're gonna get when you invite him on to something.
I hope
let's
so. I
just
don't know
be
if they
real.
knew. They may
yeah,
not
that's
have
the
known.
thing.
If they didn't know, they know now.
Next
You know
time they're gonna
today.
invite.
That's what
They're gonna
made me
invite
laugh.
Dev.
They're not gonna invite me.
because it was so
Hey,
unexpected.
you know what? Where's the lie? Okay, where's the lie?
You're not wrong.
There was nothing but truth told. All truths.
Yeah. Ta-
Have you seen those games?
Atari's kind of trash.
Look out of
Yeah,
here.
Kinda?
kind of trash. Not gonna lie.
They were like,
Yeah,
oh man, it wasn't just that they were playing it. It's how they put it over. They were so excited. Nobody should be that excited for Atari games. Now, they did win me
not
over.
at all.
I wishlisted it because of the documentary aspects. Like I'd
The
be willing to
documentary's
buy a cheap
excellent.
game just for that. On the cheap, I'd just for that. But I'm not playing those freaking games.
I love
I
the
looked up some
documentary
of those games where they were
aspects of
talking. Some of them look cool. One of them was called Gravatar or something. And I was like, that looks,
Gravatar's good.
I was like, that looks neat. But then there's
Ninja
like
Golf is good.
there's boxing,
Good is a stretch.
tennis, soccer, where it just looks like I don't know, man. Just
It's
blocks.
blips and
They look-
bloops. That's what it is. It's blips
Yeah.
and bloops.
It's literally a block.
Oh man,
Hey,
haunted
this
house.
is basketball. That's
looks
not basketball. That is
terrible.
a square shooting another square.
I was just like, this.
There's a reason there was a landfill full of ET Atari cartridges.
Exactly.
It should have been a bunch more Atari cartridges.
And they told me to show respect for the great Atari, and I was like, didn't they almost ruin the video game industry? Like, it's not like
Yeah.
like I don't know who they are. Just
Yeah.
like let's keep it
That's
100
the
here,
thing
guys.
about it. My problem with the collection is it didn't have the games you want to play, like E.T. You want to see the train wreck of
Why do
E.T.
you don't want to play that? Just leave that in the documentary.
You want to see it?
I get what he's saying. I understand why it's not there, licensing and all that.
Yes.
But it is a big part of the story. And if they're
Yes,
trying
that
to
is-
like show this off as like, hey, it's a documentary about it, it's like, then tell the good with the bad. You know, be like Xbox.
E.T. should have been there.
Take on the red rings of death head on. Don't hide it.
Yeah, E.T. should have been there. Pac-Man should have been there.
3
There's
weeks.
a few other ones that should have been there.
3 weeks. I would have taken
3
that
days,
back
3
that
hours,
day.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
not even. just watch the documentary and be done with it.
Sean's
Yep.
here.
And like I said, it's good. It's really good. It tells me a lot
You
of
see
things
what
I
he
didn't know
wants to
about
talk
Atari.
You want to talk about Call? Yeah. Mhm.
He doesn't want that. He doesn't want that smoke.
You want the smoke?
He doesn't want that smoke.
Showed up at his podcast earlier. I still kept that going. And I took that personally.
As you should.
Yeah. So are you enjoying the Atari collection?
So far, yeah. I'm enjoying the documentary aspects of it because they done a good job where it's like, hey,
Is it video
Here's
or is
the
it just
story.
reading?
no, it's video and reading.
So
But
there's
what
got
the cool
interviews
thing
and
about it
stuff,
is
like it's a full
interviews
documentary?
and stuff, and it's broken down into sections. Like here's the 2600, here's the arcade, and each section gives you a story about what went into it,
Is
and you
it
can play the game that went into it as well.
is it like
It's really cool.
does it feel like you're actually watching a full documentary or is it like a bite-sized documentary? Like how much documentary content is here?
I don't know how much, but it's a decent amount. I would say if
Because,
I
like,
were to guess,
Rare Replay had like little, like little biographies for the games and stuff like that, and some interviews.
it has
and,
that too.
Okay,
It has little biographies for the games and stuff,
like that.
and it also has video.
I like that. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get it on the cheap.
So I would say,
What's the cheap? Like $6, $7?
Nah, like anything probably below
20 would be good.
$20. Yeah,
20 would be good.
if I get it for less than $20, I'll give it a try.
Because, like there's a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah,
It
there's
goes
40
through-
games that are exactly the same. They're just
Right.
cloned,
Nice.
reskinned
You
versions
would
of
be
the other
surprised.
games.
It's a lot of
Can you
variety
like
because they-
family share that with him somehow so we don't have to spend any more money on this? I don't want
Dev's
Atari
trying
getting any
to
more
I
not
money.
got
from
support
this.
this at all.
Nonsense. It's nonsense.
I got the disc, so I can't.
Are there any
But see, the
F1
thing
games
about
on
it
there?
is-
Are there like any racing games?
Sir.
You don't want to play those Atari racing games.
Sir.
No, not at all. Not at all. You that would make you mad.
I don't know.
But I will say this: there is because I forgot the Atari went for a long.
They're
damn
never going to
time.
bring me back.
It's from the
I've ruined the
2600 to I want to say the 2000s. I want to say.
Okay.
So it's some stuff in there that you can play.
What was
that's-
Atari doing in 2003?
Yeah. They were making games. They weren't making systems.
Wasn't it just like Pac-Man Museum or whatever?
It was
thought that
some
was
other stuff,
Namco.
too, like Pac-Man Museum.
Oh yeah, that is
There was some
Namco.
other stuff like that. There was some things they
Is
were doing.
Pac-Man
like
on
they
the
have
Atari collection?
No, it should have been.
Because it's
Because-
in the Namco collection. That's probably why.
So
Namco,
what
I
is
think,
the
owns it now.
best
No,
game
no.
on the Atari collection?
Pitfall? Probably. Do they even have Pitfall?
Oh my god, the original
No,
Uncharted.
it's not on there.
Exactly.
I don't know.
It's
There's
not
some pretty
there?
Cool games. No, it's not on there.
You just saying
I didn't see
what
it.
is the best? What is the most successful game
I don't-
on the Atari collection?
I
What is
don't
their
know
Sonic?
What you would consider it.
What's
I
the
think
Mario game on the collection?
It's not on there. That's the problem.
Oh my god.
This is the thing. Well, I think it's cool.
now
about
it goes.
There are a lot of
Now
unreleased-
the price is less than $7. It's like $4.99 tops.
There are some unreleased games on there. Have you ever seen the movie Cloak and Dagger?
No.
I've
The
heard
old
of it. I
movie
have
back in
not
the-
seen it.
Okay. There was a game in that movie that you could play, that you couldn't play, that they made specifically for that movie.
Okay.
that's in the game, in the Atari collection, where you can play the full version of that game. It was never released. You can never play it anywhere else.
But it wasn't
So that's a pretty
released.
cool
I'm
thing.
sure there's a reason because it was trash.
Right. Yeah, like it's like, but is it
It's
good?
pretty cool.
It would have been in a landfill next to ET.
What is this kart racing game that's on the website? What's that?
Let me see. What game you talking about? Let me.
I don't know. It's a
If
kart
I'm correct,
racer.
there's 100
like
games on
purple is like kind of looks like a chicken or something.
I have to see what
And
you're
you
talking
bought the
about.
disc of this?
Yeah, because
Jesus.
I had 50,000 GameStop points, so I didn't pay shit for it.
That's nice.
You paid 50,000 GameStop points for it. That's what you did.
You could've
That could have been
made-
used towards something useful.
No, not really.
This is something you pirate or buy used.
Here's the thing that I don't like about this collection. The thing that's going to stop me from wanting to buy it is on the website. It says over 100 games, and you can like click through a few of them, and then it's like, "Do you want to see more?" And you go, "I do," and then it just takes you back to the thing, and it's like, "Buy it now." There is
Here's
no
the
like
thing.
list of the games. Like you can't just see the
100
games that are on
games.
it. I know, but
But they're not all unlocked. You have to kind of
oh no,
unlock some by playing some things. Yeah.
Dev, have you seen some of these? Don't look bad. But some of these,
I'm looking at some of them. I'm like,
Terrible.
yeah, no, I can't.
yeah. So you get down to the bottom, and it says more games, and you can click through like 5 of them, and then when you click view all, it just goes back to the home page. They're like, you don't want to see
It's
that.
it's broken just like the games.
Nothing to see here.
I think the star of the show is Asteroids.
Asteroids, yeah, that's probably it. That's a good one.
Fantastic.
I mean, we know that.
I will say this.
$50.
Dev.
It's $50.
Yeah, I
On
know
your
he's
left,
back
Dev.
there. I see him. I see him.
It's $40, I think. It's $50 for the Steelbook one. Who the fuck's buying that? Nobody's buying that.
You would have bought
Don't
that.
buy that. No, I wouldn't have.
Oh, look at that sweet kid.
That was adorable.
So they're about to get
That's
kicked
my
off
boy.
YouTube talking about illicit behaviors. Do crimes.
Sometimes, you know,
Not surprising.
sometimes you gotta do crimes. You know.
But yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing besides buying my son a whole bunch of shit for his birthday. Telling him
Solid.
happy birthday instead of taking him to the sushi bar. He was happy about
Nice.
that.
Kid's got
Spending his
good taste.
dad's money. Yeah, he's like, hey. Oh, well,
What's
I
the
was gonna
best thing
take
you
him to
bought
a
him?
regular buffet.
I love some sushi, man.
What's the best thing I bought him?
For his birthday, what's his
I
best
bought
gift?
him another Switch OLED.
Another
bought him a
one?
Switch.
Another?
He had a regular Switch.
Another one.
He had a regular.
Another.
He had a regular
I
Switch.
thought you were buying him a Steam Deck.
We don't know if he wants that yet. We're still discussing that. But
Look,
what
we
happened
know if he
was,
wants it.
I'm
He's
gonna
just gonna
swoop
take
in
yours.
and I'm gonna swoop in and get you off your Steam Deck, right out from under his nose. I'm just like,
my son's Switch just stopped working one day. And so I just bought him another
bought him
Switch, and I
another.
had put it to the side for him.
Hola,
Bought him an OLED one. He didn't have the OLED, so he's happy.
living that Stingray life. Just get him another one.
Yeah. No, I don't know if it's that much, but you know, he's happy with it. His sister's gonna be more happy Christmas Day. That's another story. You talk about that.
I just did my Christmas shopping and it hurt.
Oh yeah, it
It
hurts.
stinged. I don't think
Hurt
I've
your
spent.
soul.
I spent a lot, not a lot, but a significant amount. And I
Oh, I
feel
spent
like
a lot.
I have very little to show for it, like much less than I normally do. Like I was already counting the gifts, and I was like, my tree's gonna look so barren. like everybody gets like 6 gifts.
Hey, it's plenty.
You seen Kevin's
It's plenty.
house at Christmas? He has like a
Look,
whole
man, we
room.
don't
He has
even
rooms
talk
of gifts
about-
and stuff.
Kevin lives in a Hallmark movie, basically.
He does.
For Christmas. It's
I don't
ridiculous.
know how he doesn't, but yeah, he's got multiple trees. Like I feel guilty every year. I'm like, man, I should do more for my kids, and then I pay the bill, and I'm like,
Nah,
nah,
fuck that,
fuck
son.
them kids.
Yeah, basically.
Get what you get.
Fuck that.
Christmas, we're going to Houston for Christmas. There went Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. You're not getting nothing.
Yeah.
You better hope there's some gifts for you under somebody else's tree, because we ain't getting y'all nothing.
Tough.
You see the shit I buy my kids. They're good. Fuck that. Nah, son. You take these gifts, you like them.
I hope they like it. I think they'll like it. We'll see.
My kids have expensive tastes. Caviar taste on a food stamp budget.
Right?
Shit ain't working.
Mine don't. But
Something's
as they-
working because you out here buying OLEDs.
the older they get, they do. You know, Jack wants like
Yeah.
rare versions of Jordans and stuff. Things
You
like
did a
that,
good job.
right? Oh, he's down to
what
work,
are the
dude.
Jordans?
Yeah, he likes shoe collecting.
It's a good kid right there.
I might know a website for him.
Ooh, do tell. Hook me up.
I'll hit you up later. Let me make sure with my cousin.
He's not smart
get a
enough to
good
tell
deal
the
on those type of things.
He's gonna get the hair Jordans. He ain't getting no
That's
Air
it.
Jordans.
So, and I
okay,
know that I
kids,
heard
man.
you on XP. You love God of War Ragnarok.
Yes, fantastic.
Yeah.
Great.
All 3 hours that you played.
Should be game of the year. Not going to be game of the year.
He's played it for 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Should
I might have
be
played it
the
before.
game of the year.
After 3
Better than
hours
I've played this
only.
shit so far.
The
Yes.
first 3
Better
hours
than
is
I've
like
played this year.
The reason
it's just
I got a whiff of that
cracking the iceberg.
listening to you on XP, and I wanted to ask you, not because I don't
Okay.
think you're being genuine, just because I want to like maybe just postulate or throw this out there. Do you think it's possible with all of the, conversation and commentary that you consume in video games for a decade more, that you think a game of a certain style is a game of the year candidate versus others? Like, do you think if you're all possible to even unconsciously have some sort of like conditioning?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more so. I think it's more so that it's what I like. God of War God of War Ragnarok is God of War 2018 again.
Continued,
Just
yeah.
improved. I'm like, all right, this.
it's
Yeah.
a sequel.
So it's like this is the game. I love this. That's how I know. This is gonna be my game of the year because I loved it. It's like when you play The Last of Us. Like, oh, I know this. I love.
Yeah, but I
this.
didn't like The Last
I'm
of Us
good with
2.
this.
So it's not like how I like. It's not like that at all. It's a
That's why I
terrible
said-
analogy.
That's why I said. That's why I said.
I did not play The Last of Us 2 and go
Not-
game of the year.
Gameplay
That's why-
wise, it felt like this game refined, which is basically how God of War Ragnarok feels. It feels like a very refined version
Yes.
of the first one, and there are a lot of things I was not expecting. So I am very excited to keep going. I don't even know how to talk about the game without spoiling it, so I'm just gonna say I love it. I don't know what else to say.
Okay. You can
I
spoil
will
it if
say
you want. I
this.
don't care.
Let me ask you guys.
the people,
a question.
Donnie, the people.
People. 7.
Have you
Yeah.
ever, have
All
either of
seven
you
of
ever
them.
played a game?
7.
Have you ever played a game, and as soon as you start playing it, you're like, "This is my game. I can't wait to get back to it."
100%. Cult of the Lamb.
I haven't felt that
Death's Door.
none this year
Golf Story.
until God of War.
And that's the
I'll be
part that I
honest.
was really hyping on, is I felt like, I mean, I'm not into like the God of War. I don't even know what's going on with it, like conversation. To be honest with you, I haven't seen a whole lot, but I also haven't been online as much. But like, I'm not hearing, I know there were spoilers that came out, like it leaked. I didn't see any of that. And you
I
guys
didn't
know
either.
like none of that. I haven't seen anything like spoil. I'm not seeing a lot of screenshots about it. Like, I'm just not seeing a lot about it. But I know that it's out there. I know people are talking about it. I know people are hyped. And when I've seen those people, or really when I've heard those people in the podcast, that's like the first thing I've heard all week long. Game of the year, right? Like just instantly. And I'm just wondering, and I'm not trying to suggest that it's not. Like, I'm not trying to poison the well, because quite frankly, I probably agree it probably is. I'm just wondering to be so fast with it, if people are somewhat conditioned to, like, when they think game of the year, that's what they think. They think that, right? It can't be something else, because they're searching for that. When I was listening to PSXP, that's what I was hearing from you when you were describing it. Wasn't that particularly anything you said about it was driving you there? It really felt like you were looking for what it is giving. Like, you were searching for that. Like, a lot of your comments were, I've played games all year long and nobody is doing this. I've been wanting to play something that does this. It really felt like I have been wanting a game like this.
Yes.
And I thought that was
I've-
interesting.
I've been saying all year, and we've had this conversation all year long. Like, this is cool, but it's not really moving me. It's not really making me rush to play it. You know, that's been even when I played Elden Ring. Like, this is
Gotham Knights made you rush
don't
to
see
play
what-
it. You just kept diving back into that pile of trash.
What about Horizon?
But that was just torture. Even Horizon, I think Horizon was more like, this is cool. I got the moments in Horizon where I'm like, this is amazing, this is awesome. But it wasn't like it is for God of War. Like I was out of town thinking about, damn, I should be playing God of War.
Okay. So
Yeah, and I kept texting him like, I wish you were playing this because I want to talk about it with somebody.
He did. He was like, you should have took your PlayStation with you. Like, that shit's heavy. He's like, fuck that. Take it anyway.
It is pretty big. I mean,
I've taken it to Houston in a backpack. It can be done.
That's a whole nother suitcase.
Several
big
times.
ass backpack.
It's
Damn.
actually not that big.
I couldn't imagine carrying that on my back all day.
Big ass Dora the Explorer backpack.
That is a big backpack, dude.
It's a laptop backpack.
That's pretty big.
It's a laptop bag.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy that it's hitting for you. I'm looking forward to playing it at some point. I will. I'm just playing a lot of other things. And it is interesting that I'm not feeling like an urge to play it right now. Like there's no like FOMO, like I've got to get in. I'm very at peace with I'll get to it. It's there.
That's good.
Like I'll get to it when I get to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think to be honest, I think it's the length. The length is kind of scaring me a little bit. Not scaring me, it's just like I'll get to it when I know I have time for it. And right now I just don't feel like I have time to stick with it. So I'm like holding.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. But I can co-sign on Delvin's like the itching to get back to it. I haven't had a game that's like really pulled. Like I was up till 1 a.m. yesterday. I haven't done that in a while where I'm up all night playing because the game is just so good and it's driving me to just want to keep seeing the story.
And I know that feeling.
Get the
that is
unlocks.
That
I'm
Cult of
just
the
like,
Lamb feeling.
like
when I was playing Cult of the Lamb, I couldn't stop it. It permeated my brain. Right. Yeah. And I do know that feeling. That is like that's game of the year feeling. Like when you get into something that hard, that's when you know it's elevated above the rest. Yeah.
Horizon did that for me. Call of Duty did that for me. And now God of War is doing it for me as well.
Even when I played other potential game of the year, Stray, I didn't feel like that. I beat Stray.
Don't bring that up.
Please.
We're not
don't summon those people. Let's not.
You take that thought with you over to Shaq and you do that.
Yeah, please.
It's on the list. It's on the list. I don't know why.
Not our list.
What list? We don't have. What list?
We don't respect that. What list? Whose list? Not our list.
Not at all.
No, it's on the list.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Nah, Doc.
Look. Just saying. It's on the list. A lot of things on that list.
Somebody's list. I'm sure it's on somebody's list.
Look, that list was digital. I don't believe that.
Yeah, it could be anybody.
Yo, why do you put that on? Yo, Kyle, I'm going to need you not to be out with me again.
Oh, my God.
As Haley says, you take that back. You take that to PSXP. That's where that belongs.
Nah.
Yeah, please. Stray. Ugh. Donnie, tell me more about your time with Sonic Frontiers in Somerville.
I had a lot of fun playing Sonic Frontier last weekend. I played it while I was hanging out on chat with Sean and his crew. They were playing Call of Duty. And I played Sonic maybe 5 or 6 straight hours.
Oof.
Having a lot of fun. Like just generally enjoying it. And the only new thing that I have to say about it is I definitely noticed, I think for me, it's a perfect game to play and not really pay attention to. Story's kind of dumb. It's not essential. It felt a lot like playing Forza. Like I was just checking off boxes, man. Just clearing the map, just having fun, driving around, running around, completing the puzzles, smashing the things. It's very similar in a playing experience to me, like Forza. Like this is a great game that I could listen to music to. I could hang out in Sean's chat, turn the volume down, and just keep playing because I'm genuinely enjoying just the act of playing the game.
Delvin Jr. is going to platinum it. He likes it that much.
Wow. I'm not surprised. I feel confident now. I have a little bit more time. This is my favorite Sonic game.
He said the same. He thinks it's one of his favorites.
I don't want to alarm anybody that may not,
you don't like Sonic that much.
That's
so I don't know if this
I'm
is
not a
saying
big
anything.
Sonic fan, so I just want to put that out there. I like Sonic Mania. I like Sonic 2. I like Sonic and Knuckles, which was probably my favorite before. This time was probably Sonic and Knuckles. This is my favorite Sonic game. It just feels so much better to play. I'm just having so much fun. When I'm taking on these titans and I'm having these gigantic battles, it is very like Shadow of the Colossus type stuff. But then these, like I said, the thing that continues to surprise me is the design with these puzzles and how they weave into the environment. And not every now and again, multiple times a play session, I come across a puzzle where I'm like looking into the sky, going, "How do I get up there? What do I have to do?" And I find these puzzles where some of them are elaborate, where you have to chain 2 or 3 puzzles together, and you got to do it just right to give you just the right launch angle to go up there and get the Amy coin or whatever that you're looking for.
Gotta go
And
fast.
when I pull it off, and the camera cuts and showcases all the stuff that I'm doing, and it's real fast and zips around, and I do it, I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Like, just more games should do this. Like, it is fucking awesome. And I feel like that's probably the hook that Sonic had when I was a kid. And I went through one of those speed boosters and flying around in, circles and rings and doing twists and flying through the air. And I was like, oh shit, look how fast Sonic moves. Like, that novelty wore off quickly for me because I realized there's just like a lot of flashy colors. This is the same feeling, but feels like it has significant amount of gameplay depth. Like, I figured out how to do it, and I had to perform the functions to pull it off. And that was very rewarding. And then you add into the combat and stuff, there's lots of collectibles. If you're not really into collectathon games, this isn't for you because there's just 1,000 things for you to collect all over the map. The map is just littered with different shit. But you guys know me. I like map games. I defend them constantly.
You love map games with a bunch of puzzles.
Yeah, I like map games with little mini puzzles to break down. I like them when they let me do combat, shooting. Like, I like them when they mix in all kinds of different mechanics. But generally, like, letting me go off of my own direction and my own pace, my own time, and discovering something. I think that's the thing for the map game. The map games that don't hit are the ones where you're not learning, you're not discovering something. It's just there for you to go to. I think some of the early Assassin's Creed games suffered from that. We've got a lot of map games that have a lot of depth and a lot of hidden things, a lot of things for you to find and figure out if you can. And that leads to discovery. And I'm having a blast, man. Sonic's good.
I think you'll like that about God of War because there is a lot of that.
Oh, that was my favorite stuff about God of War.
Yeah, I think you'll really enjoy the openness of God of War and all the puzzles and trying to figure out how do I get that chest up there. Or when you first walk into an area, you'll see a chest and you're like, okay, how the hell do I get over there? So I think you'll enjoy a lot of that in God of War.
Nice. The other game that I've been playing, or that I played this week, was Somerville, which just dropped on Game Pass. This is the game from, was it Jumpstart? What are they called?
Sure. Jump Ship?
No, Jump Ship. Yeah. Jump Ship. These are ex-employees that used to work for the Limbo Inside folks. And we got a teaser for this game a couple years ago. I think everybody thought it was delayed until 2023. So we hadn't heard about it forever. And then, like, it was the show that I wasn't on with you guys a couple weeks ago, where they're like, oh, Somerville's just releasing in 2 weeks. And it dropped. It's out now. You can play it. I beat it today. I played it over 2 sessions. It's not a very long game. 3 hours, something like that.
Okay. It's
not very long at all. And it's interesting. I have gripes to say about it, but ultimately I would think the game was pretty awesome. Like, I very much enjoyed it, and it's just in a different place. I should have wrote notes because I already feel my brain spattering off lots of different opinions.
Well, so I have a lot of questions for you.
Okay, let's start with some of the bad things.
Super interested in.
Not bad. It's just it's a little clunky. If you're expecting Inside or Limbo, don't. Inside and Limbo are very much like puzzle platformers. 2D side-scrolling, left to right, up, down puzzle platformers. This is that, but it's more exploratory. The areas are 3D in space. It's more like an adventure game, less like a puzzle platformer. There are puzzles. You will do some platforming, but it feels more like an adventure game, less like that.
That was one of my questions. Let me ask this question.
Okay.
Is the game as brutal in terms of violence as Inside and
not at all.
Okay. That's
not even close.
Interesting.
Not even a little bit. It's clunky in a way that there are several puzzles that there are maybe 3 puzzles that I tried to solve thinking that I had it solved, but didn't have the right solution and had to find the right solution. Which is fine, but clunky in a way because it's like one of them you had to find out how to get to a platform. And I did. Like, I jumped onto the platform, but when I jumped into the platform, my character would just start spinning. And I had to restart the chapter.
Oh, like that.
And I thought it was a bug, And I did it 2 or 3 times, thinking it was a bug. And then I realized it's not a bug. It's like an invisible wall. Like I'm not supposed to jump there. I'm supposed to go around and do this other thing. So then I figured that out.
Telling you you're doing it wrong.
Kind of, but it's really like the game engine isn't expecting a player to do that, right?
This is not Breath of the Wild.
But I got on the platform, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I was on the platform. I should have just been able to walk, but I couldn't. I did get hung up in the geometry a couple times, and the audio cut out for me twice. I was just playing, and audio just quit. So, like as a polished day one experience, I think it's a little lacking compared to the past. Now, for clarity's sake, I'm playing on PC. That might be a PC thing, and it may not be a console thing, right? I played on Game Pass.
Next question.
I played on the Game Pass app for PC, which was a better experience. I'm still having, I still have fucking issues with the Game Pass app. I'll try to start a game, and it tells me that I can't sign into Xbox Live. I think I fixed it, though. Hidden in the settings is a play offline option. I did that, and I restarted not just the app, the whole computer. And ever since I did that, I haven't had the issue anymore. But for some odd reason, I'm not sure if it's because of my console or with Jack or whatever, but for some odd reason, it wouldn't. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I fixed it. It's not a problem. Outside of that, the Game Pass for PC app has gotten much better. I've been using it a little bit more here lately. The story, though, I want to talk more about the game because, yeah, it's a little clunky. I got caught up in the geometry sometimes. I've got nitpicks, things that I could throw it at, little stones that I could throw it at. The biggest stone that I have to throw it at might be you play as a human. Like you're playing as a character, a person. And then like Limbo and Inside, there's no dialogue here whatsoever. There's no writing. There's no conversation. And it does feel, because of the story that it has, and I won't spoil it, but it's basically War of the Worlds. This is basically War of the Worlds, the game, which is fucking awesome. Because I love the book and the movies. Like, I'm here for it. But because of the story that it tells, I kind of feel like I really wanted more. There are several times where my character is in the presence of other humans, and I'm just like dying to ask somebody a question or just get some questions answered or fulfilled or any sort of non-environmental storytelling fill in the blanks. And there are none. And it feels, and I was thinking to myself, like, why do I feel this way? And I think the difference is when you're playing Limbo and you're playing Inside, while you play human-like characters, it's very not. Right? It's very abstract. It's not humans. Whereas this feels very human. Like this feels very like The Road, The Last of Us, War of the Worlds, like in a tone, in a story. Dare say it's a sci-fi game, but like world destruction. I don't know if I go as far as saying post-apocalyptic, but yeah, I mean, I think that's fitting. Alien, those sort of things. And it's rife with questions. Like I just had tons I'm like, there's so much going on in this environment. I want to know the details, and I just can't. And it left me wanting. And I mean, I guess it's up for interpretation, right? You can take what you want from it. I don't even know if it's a bad thing. Some people could say it's a good thing, because the story is fantastic. Like what I did pull from it was great. The thing that I really wanted to say about this game, ultimately, like my final thought on it, is I think this is the sort of indie game that makes people love indie games. To me, this feels very special. I don't know if it's as good. I didn't like Inside as much as most people. I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't think it was Game of the Year or anything like that. I don't think this is either, but I think this game is very special because I think I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it. I should have wrote down notes. The places that it goes, we've seen sci-fi go there, but it just feels very emotional in a way that, like, I think it goes for it in a way that only indie games like really feel like they go for. Like it really, tries to do its thing, its way. And there are lulls. There are plenty of times throughout the game, and it's like I said, it's only a 3 or 4 hour game, so the fact that there are lulls, I think that might bother some people. There are lulls where you're just solving puzzles and walking back and forth, and it feels slow, and it feels clunky, and you kind of get bored. But then it picks up the pace, and at the times it picks up the pace, or at moments in the game where it picks up the pace, or it progresses the story, or there's character development, it feels very rewarding. Like, it feels very special. I really enjoyed it. And I was like, this is really good. And a lot of games don't venture down this road. And I think a lot of the indie games that strike people are the ones that do. So I'm a little surprised to see so many people somewhat lukewarm on it. I get it. Like I said, because of the pacing, it can be slow and stuff. But the ending's spectacular, and it really, like, if you're into sci-fi, if you're into any sort of like post-apocalyptic world destruction, sci-fi, alien, War of the World type stuff, like, this is for you. Because it really, it tries to add to it. I was playing it thinking that Delvin might love this game. Like, I think you might, if the puzzles don't warn you off. You do have like these powers, which is how you really kind of interact with the puzzles. So you basically get two powers. One lets you like melt the alien gunk, and the other one lets you harden it, and you play with that, going back and forth to like expose passes or create platforms and things like that. The puzzles weren't very hard. It's not like the puzzles in Inside felt way more competent and asked the player to try harder. The puzzles are not hard. I didn't have any.
I didn't find the Inside puzzles that hard, honestly. And I love
no, and I didn't either. But like some of the platforming puzzles were elaborate, across multiple different screens, opening multiple different doors and switches. I didn't think anything was like that. Like, at most, you're doing like one or two things to solve a puzzle. It's not like very elaborate or anything like that. Again, I think the focus very much is on the theme and the environments of the game, and visually, it's very nice. Like, the style this game deploys is fitting and lasting. It left a lasting impression on me. I took a lot of screenshots. There were several times.
You put a gang of screenshots in game photography today.
I just stopped and was like looking at it, and I was like, "This looks
very pretty."
It is.
I really like the way the game looks.
Kind of in that dark, morose way, and it does get brighter. And I mean, again, I'm trying not to. It's weird because I can't spoil a game that doesn't have any dialogue, but I mean, I totally can, and I'm going to refrain from doing that. The second half of this game goes in a completely different direction than the first half. So if you're playing and you're like, I'm getting kind of tired or bored of this, keep playing, because it's about to fucking go in a completely different. I mean, it's like the first part of the game is like War of the Worlds meets The Road, and the second part of the game is like fucking Independence Day. It's like a completely different thing, man. And it's like, this is neat. This is really neat in a way a lot of games aren't, I guess, is my best thing to say about it. And I'm not in love with it. I didn't put it on my game of the year, my game ranking list yet. It will cycle in there somewhere. I don't know. It's probably better than Stray, but not as good as Bayonetta. That's not saying much. Somewhere in there. Better than Stray, but not as good as Bayonetta.
Interesting.
You have any other questions?
I'm excited to play it now. Well, you kind of answered everything because you were very detailed with everything with it.
It's very short.
I'm super interested in it.
The reason I stopped playing the game that I was playing is because I knew it was short. I didn't know it was this short. I think I beat it in 3.5 hours. But I saw tweets that were saying that it was short, and I was just like, oh, I thought I could play it in a weekend, like a day. And I think you can.
I do find it interesting that it's not as gruesome as Stray, as Inside and
not even a little bit.
Limbo is.
Not even close. Remember,
I like
the studio that made those games split. These people split from them. So it's not all the same people. So I think the next game that we get from Play Dead might be more like that. These people may split and went in a different direction. The only thing about the game again
still holds up.
Yeah. With the world building and stuff, man, like I kind of felt like this game needed collectibles, notes or something. Newspaper articles, audio logs. Like, it just is puzzles, and like you move forward, and then you see your little character interact with other characters, and it's like you take from that what you will. If you're the type of person that really needs story like told to you, you might find it very boring. If you're the type of person that likes to read body language and try to figure out what's happening, you might find it very compelling. I found it very compelling. But I could see how this isn't like for everybody. I could see how this, for some people, they would come out way completely differently. But because of the weight of the story and the tone, man, I really wish there was more there. I do. I think it's like it's just the world's asking so much for it. Like it's so good that I wanted more of it, and it doesn't give that to you. It just lets you kind of make it what you will.
Let me ask the question, because I noticed that with Inside. I think it happened with Limbo too. Both of those games had a thing where if you do certain things, you get another ending.
Yeah, I didn't know that going through, but apparently I did because I was very proud and happy, and it's very fitting. When I beat the game, I got the War of the Worlds trophy, which means that I completed it with I chose the path of violence because of course I did. Like, of course I would.
That's what I was trying to figure out. They
But
didn't
I
have
didn't.
that.
I didn't know there were multiple paths to choose until I got the.
That's what I was trying to
achievement.
figure out.
I was like, oh, so this ending could be very different from the other people's endings. Now, I never replay games for endings, but I will go on YouTube and watch other endings. I definitely want to see the other endings because my ending was very us-like,
Oh,
like from Jordan Peele, and I would love to know
man.
how different it goes
I like
somewhere
that.
else. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's compelling. It's captivating. I found it compelling and captivating anyway. I don't know if other people would. At times I was bored. I'm not saying it, again, I want to be clear. I'm not saying it's game of the year or 9 out of 10 or whatever. I'm not saying that. I just thought it was really good. And I thought it really, again, it stands out from a sea of similar type things, you know. I think you'll like it, Delvin, a lot. I do.
I'm excited.
I don't know about Dev. I honestly don't know. I'm on the fence.
Dev likes
I want to
nothing.
tell you
I'm not-
would,
I'm not playing.
but I think all of
You'd be
the
lying to
puzzles and platforming and like you walk slowly and all that, I think that would take Dev off. But if I could show Dev like the last 30 minutes, I think Dev would be like, this is dope.
Dev likes
I don't
games
mind.
when you find stuff and read it
I do like to read. I do like story.
in game.
The gameplay for this doesn't sound like something that I would really enjoy.
Yeah, I don't either. I think that
So-
would stop you. And I think it might stop most because it is slow. It's slow. Like you really just
Like-
kind of, you don't even walk fast either. Like you kind of lumber about, you just kind of,
Yeah, for me, I guess it's because I played so many games in that similar kind of just walking through slowness in like the NES
I was
era. Like
thinking
I
earlier-
just don't want to play those kind of games anymore.
I think there's an argument to make that this is more of a walking simulator than a puzzle game.
Yeah, that's for just everything you said. That's what it felt like to me.
It feel and then when
And I
playing
cannot.
it,
I can't.
when
do this
playing it,
anymore.
it feels that way. It feels
I
more like
can't.
I'm playing What Remains of Edith Finch than Limbo.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'll watch. I'll watch.
I love What
summation
Remains
of it.
Edith Finch. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
playing on
understand,
PlayStation Plus, you absolutely need to play it because it's fucking incredible.
Yeah,
Well, I
nope.
liked it. Somerville, could play it. It landed for me. Yeah, I'm not gonna proclaim anything right now. I want to sit back on my thoughts and think about it. But I would say this: one of the standout games that I've played on Game Pass this year. I can say that.
Nice.
That's
Well, I'm
great.
glad you enjoyed it.
Made me feel
I'm
really
sure
good about
Delvin
being a
will
Game
as
Pass
well.
subscriber this year. Yeah, I look forward to hearing what you think, Delvin, whenever you get a chance to. I'm interested in hearing a lot of
I'm
people.
gonna
I would
play
like
it
to
this week.
hear a lot of people. I actually don't know anybody else that I know that played it. Seems like everybody's very, busy. They're playing God of War. They're getting ready for Pokemon. They're playing Splatoon. They're playing
Warzone.
Pentiment. They're playing Warzone. Like, yeah, everybody's playing things. So I don't think I'm interested in. I honestly, like I said, I don't think I know a friend, podcaster, listener, Discord member that was playing Somerville.
I forgot to mention it. I got Pokemon. Got it early.
Ooh, look at you! Nice.
Yeah,
GameStop?
My daughter's playing it right now. No, it was a game store. They just happened to have it for my son's birthday. Went to his game store and they had it. I'm like, can I buy this?
Dude, Jack
Yeah,
is
buy it right now.
over the moon. He keeps coming to me every day with a Pokemon update. He's watching all the YouTube videos. He's doing all the things. He's so excited.
I bought it. My daughter immediately took it, and she's so far she's enjoying it. She said, "I'll play this till my copy comes out Friday, and you can have a nice day, Dad." I'm like, "Okay, go
Nice.
play it. Have fun."
Kids are just
So she's playing
punking
it.
you.
She,
I look forward to playing it. This is
it-
the first year in many years that we're only getting the one game. So I don't think I'm going to get to play it much.
It's only
Jack-
one.
Yeah, I'm only buying the
There's
one
two.
copy. There's
it's-
two.
oh,
I'm only buying the one
It's
copy.
two games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In years past,
It's
Jack and I
Scarlet
both
and
got a
Violet,
copy.
I think.
and then we would trade with each other. But after the last couple ones that have been misses for me, and I got conservative.
Is there
We're just
anything
gonna
different?
do the one.
Is it just the same Pokemon game or with different Pokemon to
Same,
collect?
yeah, it has different Pokemon. That's the point.
Yes.
Oh God, I'll never understand Pokemon. I'll never get it.
It's very easy. Collect them all.
Yeah.
So you need
No.
both games.
I don't understand the appeal in any way, shape, or form.
Collect
no. Toss them all in the trash.
I'm excited.
Anyways,
Actually, baby.
Donnie,
What's up, man?
let's get into the news.
Yeah. I wasn't ready for a bumper.
Boo.
Kick it old school.
Hey, Donnie, what is in the news this week on PSVG?
Fun times. You know, I've got TikToks, probably like 12 of them, that I save after I watch for the show. I saw them last night. I was rewatching them. I was like, I have no desire to sit down and rip them all. So we're just I'm like, this might be the end of the TikTok transition. It's like, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this anymore. It's just so much effort.
I will add this in. If people want to send us bumpers, because we haven't said it in a while, you can send us bumpers.
That's true. We do.
Yep,
take
Kyle just said he's going to make a new one.
we prioritize listener submissions.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love to have them. In the news this week, speaking of Somerville, Thunderful Games has entered into an agreement to acquire developer Jump Ship. They're located in Guildford, UK, and they released their first game in Somerville. The studio was founded in 2017 and houses 25 employees, including former Playdead developers, as we just talked about. The deal is for $7.2 million up front, $28 million based on earnings over 5 years. So they have like some sort of, built-in boosters to the deal. But it was pretty quick. I remember when I saw it came out at midnight, and I was like, well, that was fast. Released the game, purchased.
Who the hell is Thunderful Games?
I like the fit with Thunderful. Thunderful is great. Let me look them up so I don't misspeak.
Thunderful.
You know who they are.
I ain't never heard of them before.
Yeah, it's because they used
That's
to
not
be
saying
multiple.
much.
They're multiple folks, and they joined to become Thunderful. So,
That's not a good name.
yeah, it's Image Form and Zoink was the name I was trying to remember.
I've heard of Zoink.
Yeah, and the games that they've made. I'm trying to get a list of games. You'd think they would have it. They do not.
I don't think I've heard of Image and Form, but I've heard of Zoink.
You've heard.
I feel like I've heard of Image and Form, but not Zoink, and I couldn't
Yeah,
tell you
you
what they
have.
make.
So both of us together combined.
Combined,
we've heard of these.
we're one person. Yes.
Damn it. Should have been prepared for this.
Nah, not really. There's preparedness and unpreparedness.
So I know some, but I don't know them all. So they're doing I'm on their game page now. They're doing Planet of Lana. We've seen that in the Xbox show for a while now. They did Lost at Sea. That was a game I played on Game Pass when it released. I like that. They published Pumpkin Jack. They published Deadly Premonition 2.
Okay. Gotcha.
Lonely
I'm
Mountains
starting to know
Downhill. Image and Form from SteamWorld. SteamWorld Quest, SteamWorld Dig, SteamWorld Dig 2, which
okay.
is amazing. Zoink from Flipping Death and the other game that's like that. They did Faye. Zombie Vikings Stick It to the Man was the other game I was trying to remember. They did Stick It to the Man. Yeah, so they joined a few years ago together, and they publish stuff. Do you remember that Endless Runner Aerial Knights Never Yield?
Yes.
Yeah, they published.
He was on the podcast.
They published that game as well.
He was on my podcast.
Oh, and they did the Gunk.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. I like that game a lot too. So, yeah, they're I don't know, fairly
They've
popular.
got a lot of games.
Indie publisher. Not Devolver, but like not Devolver, like kind of close. Devolver-ish.
Devolver has
level.
games I want to play. Thunderful does not.
Damn. I like Thunderful games.
Wow. Cold as ice.
Yeah. Moving on to the next story. Lionsgate has acquired the feature adaptation for a video game Streets of Rage. That's not actually news. We knew about that last spring. But now they've locked down John Wick franchise creator Derek
We
Kolstad
knew about that last
to write
spring?
this. Yeah, we talked about this before. But I
We
think
did?
a lot of people, I think it felt real today. I think last spring it was like, we're going to make a Streets of Rage movie. Or I think last spring it was like, we want to make a Streets of Rage movie. I think today it became real that like we're making Streets of Rage the movie. Kolstad
right.
said, when Dimitri first mentioned the idea of cracking a Streets of Rage movie, I was immediately freaking in. And to play with Sega, the 10-year-old me is still grinning. Aaron Westerman, president of production at Lionsgate, says, the game has a rich world and narrative, and we're thrilled to be reuniting with Derek to bring this to life. They are also working with Sega's Sonic producer, Toru Nakahara. So he was the produce lead on Sonic 1 and 2, the movies. So they're working together to bring Streets of Rage to the silver screen, and I am so fucking excited. This sounds great.
So who are we going to get to play Axel?
I hadn't even thought
That's a
about
good
casting
question.
yet. I haven't even thought about
I haven't thought about casting either, but I'm
Not
here
good.
for it. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, hopefully it's good. Whoever they pick, hopefully it's good. I don't even think I know
Damn.
most actors anymore. No, not. We said hopefully it's
Just go
good.
ridiculous.
Yeah, just
If they give Van Damme, it's going to be so bad it's good.
No, I don't want this
This
movie to
is
be one
awful.
of those movies.
no.
I want this movie to
no.
be legit good. The fact they got the John Wick creator behind it gives me a lot of hope that it'll be thought out and well produced. It's not just like a cash in, like what Delvin's like describing. I'm actually hoping
They're gonna
for it
end
to be
up
a
making
movie.
Keanu Reeves Axel.
It's gonna be Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is Axel.
That would be bad.
Oh man, that's so good. Okay. Next story, Game Pass has got new games. So we mentioned Somerville's out now. So is Pentiment, which is getting really good review scores. That was down
I've heard
there.
that.
It's like lots of 7 and 9s. Metacritic last time I checked was in the mid 80s. I'm not going to play the game. I don't think the game is it doesn't sound very like Dev in Somerville. Like, it doesn't sound like something I'd want to play, but it's getting a lot of high scores. I think people are very excited about having a game that's getting high scores. And then out tomorrow, Dune, Spice Wars, Ghost Lore, Lapin, and Norco. I'm excited to play Dune Spice Wars. I almost bought it this week on Steam sale, and I'm glad I held off so I can try it. I don't think it's going to be particularly like special. It's like an RTS game. It just has like some Dune skin on it. But I'm excited to try that. Norco,
Like the movie in the book?
yeah,
Mhm.
Dune, yeah, Dune Spice Wars is like an RTS Dune game where you play like Spice War manufacturing stuff. Norco is a game that I was hearing a lot about earlier in the year, and I did play it. It's a text adventure game. I did not like it, but if you're into what's that other text event, Disco Elysium? Like, if you like that, then I think you should look up Norco. If you've never heard about it, like, look into it. But it's not for me. I'm not going to play that. Gungrave Gore is on the 22nd. Insurgency Sandstorm and Soccer Story is out on the 29th. And Warhammer 40K Darktide comes out on the 30th. So those are Game Pass games for the rest of the month.
Yay.
Phil Spencer has seemingly put an end to the Call of Duty on PlayStation debate once and for all.
Again.
Appearing
God,
on
again, right?
the Decoder podcast, Phil Spencer says he's open to, quote, a longer-term commitment that Sony would be comfortable with while committing to Call of Duty on PlayStation indefinitely. And no, not streaming, not Game Pass, not some weird thing, not for the generation. He said all of those things. Native, feature, complete, rich Call of Duty on the PlayStation as long as there are PlayStations. So can we move this deal forward? I want another Guitar Hero. Like, fucking, can we let this console war shit go now?
I'm sick of hearing about this shit. I'm not going to keep it 100.
We've talked about
Every
so.
week this thing gotta
Here's the
come out
thing.
here.
There's the thing that makes me not upset. It's not upset. People care a lot about Call of Duty, and they care about.
Yeah.
I think the reason that this story has been so loud is that people care a lot about console wars, and they like or don't like what they think this news story does for that.
Yeah.
That said, not everybody is that way, and I'm sure some people actually truly care a lot about Call of Duty and where they can play it.
Yes.
And I hope that for those people, they can let this go now. Right? The thing that
Hopefully.
I'm not upset or anything like that. It's just we've talked about this so much to end up right here. Phil Spencer saying the same thing that I said on Xbox Empire over a year ago. I felt this way from the get-go. Like, they're not going to stop. They're not going to make Call of Duty exclusive.
He has been saying this.
They never were.
Goddamn week.
The damn thing has been driving me nuts this whole time. It's like, it's not because they don't want to. I'm sure they would love to. It's not because, right, it wouldn't move the needle as an exclusive. It fucking would. Like, it would be a huge exclusive. They're not going to do it because of money. It would cost them so much money to make an exclusive. They would lose so much money. Even from what the net gain wouldn't be enough to warrant it. Call of Duty's too big. It's huge. We've talked about it. I'm not going to do this all over again. We did it. We did all the numbers. I've told everybody it's not bigger than one or two of your favorite games. It's bigger than your top 10 favorite games together combined.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than all of it. You take every exclusive that PlayStation has released the last 2.5 years, combine them, and Call of Duty is likely more important than them.
Just one of the Call of Duties. Not even like the couple that have come out over that 2-year span. Just one of them.
So I never thought that they were going to do that. All they need to do is put it on Game Pass, and that is a super huge net positive for Xbox.
Yep.
That's it.
Same thing with XP. So it doesn't make any sense for them to do that.
Let's fucking move on. Let's get the deal done.
Thank you.
I would like different Activision games to be made. It would be nice if we got other Activision games. I would also like these games to start coming to Game Pass, so I have to pay $70 for them. That's the other thing that I would like. It'd be great if I didn't have to buy Diablo. So can we get a move on already? Jesus. Quick hitters. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition next-gen versions for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC launches December 14th.
When is the show supposed to be happening about it?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, they have some.
The show's probably a while away.
Live stream or something.
No, I
December
think
14th is like
not that.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, you're right. They're doing a live stream to show off improvements next week.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to hear Digital Foundry tell me what's the. That's all I don't even know when I'm going to play this. I still don't even know if I'm going to be into The Witcher.
You're not.
Yeah, I'm
it's
kind of
long game.
Valhalla was long.
It is.
Valhalla was long.
But I was into Vikings.
Right.
That's the thing. I don't know if I'm into The Witcher. That's what I mean by I don't know if I'm into The Witcher. Not
high
the
fantasy,
game,
a lot of magic and things.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Complex.
Man,
More complex controls.
I was going to ask if anybody out there really loves The Witcher. Would you rather me wait for the game to play it and to see if I'm into it, or would I potentially start the show? Like just see the show, and if I don't like the show, don't play the game. Is there any sort of?
I would say
parallel
don't
there?
even think about the show and the game. Are two different things. No, don't even do that.
Just try the game.
That's two different things.
Yeah, play the game, and then after if you enjoy the game, then check out the show to see if it's additive for you. But it's not the reverse. You don't want to watch the show and then play the game.
They are not even the same. They're not in the same area. Don't even think about that.
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Control 2 was officially announced for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. It was announced before. We got a note that they were working on it. They said they were working on it, but I think this time they affirmed that 505. Well, that 505 is publishing it. Yes. Remember, there was some news stories after Control came out that Remedy wasn't necessarily driving with what 505 was doing with the game, and it looks like they either got over it or that might not have been true because they're publishing the sequel. So.
I don't care who publishes it. Just give me the game, you cowards. Just put it
out.
Or
maybe they had, their own exclusive rights to do or something like that. But I'm excited for more Control 2. I loved Control. Control was great.
Control was awesome.
I'm looking forward to I'm going to replay it soon on PC. The next lull I get, I'm playing Control. I bought the PC versions. I'm going to do this again.
I'm going to play it on PS5 for the dual sense things. It was pretty awesome. I played it on PC originally. When I play it again, it'll be on PS5 for all of the haptics and stuff.
Sonic Frontiers has smashed the series record for concurrent Steam players, nearly doubling those that played Sonic Mania. So there you go.
It's great. Congratulations, Sonic. Having a little bit of resurgence.
Yeah.
Movies, games.
I'm gonna watch
Everything.
those movies. Sean loves those movies. I gotta watch them.
Movies are good. The Sonic movies are pretty good.
They are really good. They're really good.
Saints Row's getting their first patch, version 1.2, the Bright Future update, is officially landed. There is a gigantic blog post of all the things that they're doing. They're changing, updating driving controls, shooting controls, NPCs, the racketeering little system that they're doing. I forget what they call them, but all of that stuff. Like, there's so many updates. I am very excited to see them because you guys know, like, I had fun playing Saints Row. I stopped playing it to play other things. I will get back to it. And I was always kind of hoping that I would get back to it after they got a big patch out. So I'm hoping to hear from people that get to it before me that it's much improved. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping it's noticeable. I would love nothing more than the people be like, oh my God, it's so much better now. That would be great. And then speaking of updates, Plague Tale Requiem got a performance patch this week. And apparently, according to Digital Foundry, all platforms now run up to 35% faster than before. Those of us playing on PC with 3080 cards can run the game now nearly at 60 frames a second, which is nice.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That bad?
PS4 is now like, I think they said stable
720?
30. No, they were like, now you
30?
can, they're like, no, on PS5, sorry, I should say. They're like, on PS5, now you can run it like 32 frames. Like
I thought I had some VRR 40 like frames
20,
mode or something.
The VRR thing, I think you're getting like locked almost 40 now. Like, it's improved.
Oof. And it's still only 1440, not even 4K, huh?
Yeah.
Oh boy, why is this game so rough? Jeez.
Yeah. Well, the Gotham Knights is the interesting one in that regard because did you see their video where they tested that?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, you can throw every video card under the sun at it, and it doesn't matter because it's like so CPU intensive.
Yeah, it's extremely poorly optimized. Like
why
the
would
best
you design
CPU
it
in the
that
world.
way? I don't know.
I don't get it. It doesn't make a whole lot
Why
of sense.
did they make that game?
It's bizarre. It's not.
They made it for you to plow through it and keep playing and torturing yourself.
Not how to. It's why they made it that way. But sure.
Why they made it is the question.
Wow.
Fuck
on.
that game. I will never forgive them for fucking up my Batman game.
She took that shit personally.
Yeah,
I did.
Moving on to Rude Days.
You got your rude days. You want your rude days. You got your motherfucking rude days. You want your rude days. You got your rude days. You want your rude days. You got your rude days. Rude days. 93. Chicka, chicka, chicka.
Sean, bring back the Patreon. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I wonder if Rude Days, when he goes into work, does he play that song like when he goes
bump
in?
it on the way in.
Yeah, just bump it. Like have like little headphones and just bump it in when he comes in.
I would.
People know he's coming in. Yeah.
Boombox.
Yeah.
Odds you would try VR again if Rockstar makes 2 new VR games. There is a Reddit rumor. I did see it. I didn't think it was substantial enough, but since he asked it, where they're making 2 VR games for the Quest. One possibly being Manhunt.
Ooh, Manhunt on Quest could be fun.
Manhunt is a game that is somewhat, I wouldn't say nostalgic, but just like games don't hit nearly as hard as Manhunt hit when it released.
Yeah. So
like,
it's nothing like killing
Manhunt is a
bag.
game that makes games today feel safe as fuck. Like Manhunt really goes there.
I think I still have my PS2 copy of Manhunt.
I have it on Wii.
Manhunt was just snuff film the game.
It was. It really was. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm nostalgic for it. I don't think I would want to play it again. I don't know if I'd want to play it again. If they remastered Manhunt, I probably would play it again. Yeah.
I would hope so.
But not in VR. I don't know about VR.
Then you could just like murder people in first person view.
It does a lot more than just murder people.
Yeah, he does a lot.
There's lots of other crimes that are being done. I don't know, man. Like, can we play Grand Theft Auto in VR?
Is
that a thing that's already? Did they do a person? They did first person.
It's a first person
mode. First person mode, yeah.
But it's not like fully thought out VR. If we
it's
could,
not VR, it's just a first person mode, like a first person shooter.
I'm thinking like if they could, would you want to? And I don't know if I would.
Hell no.
I think Red Dead actually might be a better fit for VR than Grand Theft Auto.
Maybe. Well, I play VR anyway, so I'm automatically in with it. So
Yeah, you're in.
yeah,
My odds are low.
0% chance for
I
me.
won't go 0, but it's low. Odds, Obsidian is the best Xbox studio when this generation ends. I also think the odds for this is low.
very low.
Who's better?
The Coalition.
That's what I
There
was
you
going to say. Gears.
Yeah, I'm low. I got nothing. Who cares?
I mean, I understand why people are saying that. I'm happy that Pentiment got good reviews. It's still not like a...
Was that Obsidian?
Yeah.
That game looked...
And they did
Weird.
Grounded. Grounded is great. And they have a lot of games in the pipeline. And if Avowed hits big, like maybe they have a case to be made, but I think they need multiple big hits. I mean, they're not like Playground. Like what Playground has done with Forza Horizon, what the Coalition has done with Gears. I just think they've got much better. And like you think about, there are other studios. You think Arcane. Like if you start thinking about, I don't think a lot of people are thinking that when they think Xbox first party. You still have to account for Bethesda, and soon you'll have to account for Activision. So if you're thinking of Arcane, thinking of id, right? Bethesda Game Studio. Like what if Starfield is what people want Starfield to be? I just think the odds are low that we come away going best Xbox studio, Obsidian. That sounds like a real like deep cut, like kind of like hipster opinion, like I think Obsidian's the best studio. And like I love Obsidian. I was excited when they bought them. Because I just like I think they're a really good developer. But I want to be clear. I'm not trying to take shots at them. There's just a difference between the games that Obsidian makes, even with the scores that they get, and like AAA blockbuster games that people, really love. There's a difference. Like I'm glad Obsidian, let's say Pentiment got 90s, right? Like what am I missing?
Sean.
Oh, Sean. I didn't hear him say that. I don't know if he was talking about that. There's a difference between Pentiment. Let's say it's like getting 90s. It's a 90 Metacritic game. There's a difference between that, and there's a difference in between like God of War. They're not the same. Just because the scores are the same, they're not the same. Because one has millions of people wanting to buy and excited to play it, and the other one is a niche title for a niche group of people. Right?
Yep.
There are lots of games that get 9s that nobody hears about because nobody cares. And I'm not saying nobody cares about Pentiment. I'm just trying to keep it real.
I don't care about Pentiment.
Thanks. I'm just trying to keep it real. I don't think many people do. Right? I think sometimes, especially on the Xbox side, I think there's like a rush to cling to anything that gets a number because they just so badly want like a game like PlayStation that gets numbers.
Yeah.
I remember that with like Flight Sim. People were like, "Oh my God, Flight Sim's got a 96 Metacritic." It's like, who cares? Nobody cares because nobody's playing it.
Nobody's.
Yeah.
You know who's playing Flight Sim? Old men, older than me and Delvin, with their weird little instruments and giddy ups to play Flight Sim because they really just want to fly planes.
There is a as having been the Xbot amongst us, and having had my own Xbox show, there really is a group of diehard Xbox fans that have a dire thirst for Xbox to have a big AAA blockbuster title. I think I've said this for a while. I think that's the issue. I think that's what happened when Halo came out. I think they tried to will Halo into being that. It wasn't that, but they wanted it to be. Boy, do they want it to be that. Like they really wanted it, but it's not. But they really want a game to be that way. And I'm not taking anything away from Pentiment. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure all those reviewers that reviewed it were being genuine, and I'm sure it's great at what it does. It's just not. It's not what
It's not a God of War. It's
not what the people are
Horizon.
looking for. Exactly.
It's not a Ghost of Tsushima. It's
But
just
the problem is
that.
But the problem, honestly, the problem is that Xbox has had that, and it's been Forza Horizon, and nobody cares.
Right, because it's
Forza Horizon is that game, and nobody gives it any of the credit that it's due.
Forza and Gears are the ones that I look at like that. Those are the games.
Gears doesn't get that type of love, but like Forza deserves that type of love.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Gears?
They're like Gears is that.
It's hard. It's hard to pit like Forza Horizon against God of War. It's just the genres are so different.
Thing. A lot like sports games. A lot of people are just out of cart. They're like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, it's not going to draw you in the
yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
You're not going on an adventure. You're not. It's just
Yeah.
doesn't tick the same box.
Yep. So, anyway, I think the odds are really low. Top 10? For sure. Top 1? No. Delvin Cox special. More overhyped game this year. Elden Ring or Stray? Hot take. It's Stray. People let the fun of being a cat overshadow the mediocre gameplay and story. That's what Rude Day said. I didn't say that. That's what Rude Day said. I got my hand slapped this week. I'm not talking about Stray again.
Stray is hot trash.
Say,
it's garbage.
I wasn't going to say that at all.
It's not a good game. It's not fun. It's overrated as hell.
Y'all are gonna get kneecapped.
I'm
not
saying
gonna
that
get
at all.
nothing. Ain't nothing happening. Nobody's coming for me. All right.
Legions of T
Send them.
fans are about to come
Send
to
them.
your
Send them. I don't care.
I don't want no smoke.
Give me all the
None.
smoke.
Rebecca Smoke. She's
I'll take all the Rebecca smoke. She ain't coming to Cali. Ain't no smoke coming to Cali. I ain't worried
Apparently,
about what
I'm the
y'all
only
scared
one
of.
that gets the smoke.
What are y'all afraid of?
Just me.
Nah, son.
I'm the only one that
I'm
gets
afraid.
the smoke.
I'm afraid. Look, the cat is a good a good pet.
Look, cats are
Stray
great.
is a fine,
I'm a fan of
decent
cats.
game.
I don't care about Stray. I don't want to play no game as no cat. That game looked mid-tacular
Rebecca cut my
at
throat.
best.
She cut my throat in seconds. On Twitter, she was there.
I saw her humiliate somebody on Twitter. I don't want that smoke at all. Nah, I'm good. I am going.
Humiliate me on Twitter. It doesn't matter.
In
I
Rude Day's
don't care.
defense, it is an interesting comparison that he
It
says
is.
it's people let the fun of being a cat overshadow the gameplay. I felt the same way about the duck game or goose game. Remember that? And like the viral
never
hit that
played
it
that one.
was.
The
And, like Goose
what is
game
it?
was
Goose?
very similar. You know, I was like, this is not that
Like,
great.
At least the
People
goose
like
was
it.
causing chaos. You know, he was messing with people. I don't know what this cat was doing.
You
Trying to get
towing the
back
line.
home to a bunch of other cats. Cats
Delvin.
don't even
Line.
like people.
Now that we've given you a minute to think, most overhyped game,
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Because I feel like Elden Ring.
Remember
is
when he
going
was
to
all
win
about
every
it?
award.
Was playing
Yeah.
it, and we
It
heard
was
about
a whole
he was talking
segment
about-
for a
he was
while.
talking about how he was
And then-
great, how
and
he,
then I
he
played
went
it.
in the wrong direction. He learned, and he was going to do it this time. It was going to be great. He was an Elden Ring player. He was a front
Was.
player.
And then reality hit.
He was telling us about how we need to stop playing trash games
Yeah.
and play Elden Ring like real players.
Greatest
Much
game
like-
of all time.
Much like Eminem said,
What a
snap back
turn.
into reality. Oh,
What a
there goes
turn.
gravity.
What a fall from grace.
Wow.
You were the
Much
chosen
like
one.
gravity. I just
This was supposed to be the year of Elden Ring for Delvin. This was supposed to be your
It
thing.
wasn't.
Yeah, it was going to be his
it
thing.
wasn't. It wasn't. They let me down. America let me down.
No. You let us down. This was supposed to be
No, no,
you.
no.
This was all you.
No.
I knew this was going to
I
happen. You
let
didn't
you
let me
guys
down.
down
I
all the
knew
time.
this was going to happen.
So that's not surprising at all. I always let y'all down. You should.
You failed
if,
us.
If you're let down by me by now, it's your fault.
I think when he
You
was
should
like,
know-
I knew
you
this
should
was
know
going to
better.
happen when he was like, I bought Elden Ring. And I was like, fucking
Yeah.
Why?
kid. Yeah.
Yeah, Donnie.
He
called
likes
it.
punishment.
He's like,
He likes
I know where
punishment.
this
He
is
likes
going.
that.
Been
Donnie's
there,
like,
done
you should
that.
know better. Like, nah, Donnie, I should know better. And it's like when Wile E. Coyote keeps chasing after the Roadrunner, and he knows that's a wall, but he still goes towards it and runs right into it. I knew it was a wall.
Steam Deck
Ran
1.0.
right into it. No, I love my Steam
Game
Deck.
comes out.
Steam Deck,
You love it now.
Gotham, Elden Ring.
Everybody on Twitter starts talking about Elden Ring. What's Delvin do? Shows up with a copy of Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Steam Deck comes out. Everybody talking about Steam Deck.
He's going to tell us next week
Still
how
playing.
great Pentiment is.
We're building a pattern. You guys will be coming in as a Pentiment, guys.
I'm still playing my Steam
Pentiment's the
Deck.
shit.
I am now playing Transformers War for Cybertron on Steam Deck, and I'm loving it. It is
Smoking Joe.
great.
Man after my own heart there.
Yeah, I don't get it either. No, thank you.
It's the end of an era. John 32, the final.
Was it
Delvin
even an
Ring
era?
update.
It's like the end of a couple of minutes.
Society made me hate Elden Ring. They kept
You hear
telling
that,
me this
Delvin
is the
Jr.?
greatest game of all time.
I'm gonna sweat
Once
that
they
shit.
told me, once I saw a motherfucker say this is one of the greatest games of all time, I said, fuck that. I'm done. I'm over
That's
it.
not
Said
what it
that
took.
the day it came out,
Right, and you still bought it.
That's
bought
the
it.
problem.
but you bought it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not making
I
it up.
bought
That's
it.
not true.
So-
what you
No,
just
no.
said was completely false.
No, it is fact.
So what
it's
you're
not
saying
the
is you're
greatest game of all time.
mad that you bought into the hype.
Yes.
Hey, the downside
bought
of
into the
eating all
hype.
that hype
I fell
sometimes
for it.
is you get sick.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what happened.
It's happened to me
Tummy
multiple
ache.
times. Happened to me multiple times. I know the feeling, man. Sometimes you just get burned.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Icarus flew too.
I walked to a section, fought a giant, killed me immediately. Walked to
Yeah,
another
so you
section.
didn't fight a giant.
fought
Giant
some
fought
No,
you.
that's not a fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Booted up the game.
Looked like a
Got my ass stomped.
looked like a
The
world
console
star video.
spit the disc out at me.
Shit wasn't pretty.
Oh, that should be the next From Souls game. They make like a companion that hits you if you get hit. That's fun. All right. Buy or sell Virtuos added officially Konami to their list of clients on their website, sparking widespread speculation that
The
they
fuck
are
is
the
Virtuos?
ones making Virtuos Studios, that they're the ones making the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake for the upcoming 20th anniversary. So
Never heard of them.
yeah, you have.
You have.
Yeah, you have.
What do they make that's we know?
Prolific. Now I gotta look up everything again. Every time I write down a studio name, I'll have to wait for Delvin to be like, tell
You
me
just
all
keep
the
talking.
games.
I'll
they
look
made."
it up. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Just tell me one that I would know.
I'll let Dev do it.
I'll find it.
Anyone.
I'm buying it.
I'm looking, sir.
Because this game has been in the rumor mill for years.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, I'm buying it. I think Konami has something bigger planned for Metal Gear Solid. I don't know what that is. I hope it's a bunch of remasters and remakes. And I'm hoping that this is the start. But we've been hearing since before the consoles launched that we were getting more Metal Gear, and since then, I have heard the disappointing news that the first one will be Metal Gear Solid 3. That's how long this has been.
That's what I was gonna say. I heard a rumor. I heard it multiple times in the past few weeks that it's a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake.
No. Fucking no. If it's not
It's going to be.
Metal Gear
Multiple
Solid,
times.
Gonna
then
be.
it's this.
not.
I'm selling this shit down the river. I don't care.
The thing
I
that
don't-
makes
no.
me excited is that maybe they're doing, maybe they'll announce that they're doing that when this is announced. I'm hoping to be a part of the announcement, but the first one we're getting is Metal Gear Solid 3. And here's the thing: I saw a mock-up of what Metal Gear Solid could look like on next gen Metal Gear Solid 3, and I'm here for it.
It'll look great. I just have
be
no
awesome.
desire to play Metal Gear Solid 3 again.
I'm okay.
Right.
You know
I'm
when it
down.
goes skin animals and stuff in the forest
No.
that you have to eat to survive?
I sure don't. I have zero desire to do that again. Wait for what's his face? The what's the one the old one that you let him fall asleep and die?
Oh yeah, I can't remember the name. The sniper. That's you have
Yeah.
to sit there and actually fuck away from the
You can just let him fall asleep and die. He literally just dies of old age. Like, no, I'm good.
That's
I
a
don't wanna play
wild
again.
mechanic to put in the game.
Do you have the games?
You
Dev?
can-
Yes, so they've worked on The Outer Worlds, Outriders, Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, Final Fantasy 12 The Zodiac Age, Dark Souls Remastered, Marvel's Avengers, Call of Duty Warzone, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Destroy All
okay.
Humans, Grounded, Horizon Zero Dawn, and the list goes on and on. They've worked on a lot of games.
So what the
Their
fuck are they doing all
tagline
these
is,
games?
we make games better.
They do a lot
That's
of
their
port work
tagline.
Okay, gotcha.
or
That's-
support studio work.
that's
Usually
why I
port
didn't
work.
know.
Didn't they did like the Batman remasters and stuff like that. They're good
Now it's
developers.
making sense to me.
You should be excited
gotcha.
for Virtuos remaking or remastering Metal Gear Solid games.
Okay.
Like that's exciting to me. I'm like, yeah, that sounds awesome.
I'll be
I just hope
excited
there's.
when it's real.
I'm hoping that it's more than just Metal Gear. Like that's the thing. This rumor is disappointing if it's just Metal Gear Solid 3. If they come out and they're like, we're putting our old games back on the eShop that you can stream on PS3, and we're remastering Metal Gear Solid 3, that's gonna be really disappointing. But if they're like, we're remastering and remaking all of Metal Gear, and we're starting with the prequel in Metal Gear Solid 3, and it's coming first, and I'm like, I'm here for it, all of it.
Well, I assume if 3 sells good, they'll do it anyway. Like I will.
I think they're
remaster
doing
all
it
of them.
anyway.
Why
honestly, if you're
start
asking me my
with
opinion,
3?
isn't it the origin story?
3 might be the
Kind
easiest
of.
one for them to
I
remaster
think
besides
it's
Guns
origin
and
story. I
Patriots.
think
It's
that's why they're
Big
doing
Boss. It's
And
Big
it's
Boss. It's not
probably-
Solid Snake.
It might be the easiest for them, the easiest one for them to do. That's not like 5.
Why?
That's not 5 or Guns of the Patriots.
Because they may want to have. It's possible they may have ambitions beyond for like Metal Gear Solid. And Metal Gear Solid 4 is like its own thing on PS3 and everything. Like I could see
4. Just forget about 4.
Exactly, but 3 has been worked on and ported to so many systems that might be the
so
best
is 2.
starting point.
Do 2 instead.
I don't know. I'm just trying to give you answers. You asked, and I try to give you theories.
I don't want it.
Why do you hate 3 so much?
I just didn't like 3 as much. I want
really?
1. I just just want the first one. I don't even care about 2. I don't care about 3. I don't care about 4. I just want to play the first one.
I'm with you. Now you know I'm with you. I love the first one. I just want to play the Metal Gear Solid as well.
3 is a lot of
3.
time management stuff.
It is. It's just
fixing rations and stuff like that. It's very cumbersome.
Shit.
Yeah, I want to do that.
The last time I played 3, I played on 3DS. Did you guys know Metal Gear Solid 3 is on 3DS?
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3 is on everything.
Bizarre that it's on 3D.
I forgot what it was called. Wasn't it called something? It had a weird name to it. Metal Gear Solid 3 something.
Snake Eater.
No, it was called something
the 3DS
else.
version had like the 3DS had
Snake Eater was like the actual subtitle of the game. But then there's also like Substance. There's all kind of weird because they've remade and redone these games so many
3D.
times.
That's it.
3D. There you go.
Yeah. Snake Eater 3D.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense because you put a little slider up. Yeah, no.
It wasn't, here's the thing. For a 3DS game, it wasn't as bad as it sounds. It's pretty good. Like for a big game being running on 3DS and 3D, it was impressive.
3DS has some pretty impressive games. I will say that.
Well, but then there's like Xenoblade Chronicles and 3DS and NES. No bueno. Right, but Metal Gear Solid 3 isn't that. Metal Gear Solid 3 is legit on 3DS. Like it's like if you were like, this is the only way I can play it, I'd be like, that's fine. You can play it. It's just fine. It's a shame that it never got the Metal Gear collection that Vita did, because that would have been epic on 3DS.
It's better than what it was given for PSP.
I would love
Metal Gear Solid Acid. Isn't that the PSP one?
Yes.
So I know I know what we want, right? We want Metal Gear Solid remake.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want like completely redone remake?
Complete
like
remake.
Resident Evil remake?
Completely redone.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
What do you think they're going to do? If you had to predict what they're going to do, what do you think they're going to do?
I have no idea.
I think they're going to remake it in one of the engines for the games that they're making now. Like if they're going to use 3, they're going to remake it in the 3's engine.
I think a remake for Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 is a lot of work. So if I had to make a bet, I think they would make a remastered Metal Gear Solid collection 1 and 2, where it's the original game, but it's HD, widescreen, 4K support, modern controls, trophies, achievements, all of that. Like they bring it up and they release it as a remaster with a modern with 3
that's
being
called
a
that's
remaster.
called the Twin Snakes.
I was just going to say that.
But
No,
for
thank you.
PS5.
No, thank you. I
That'd
want
be
a
great.
full remake. I don't want a remaster because I can find that exists.
I'm not
I want
expecting that
full
because I
remake.
don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, if
I don't want to be
for
let
me,
down.
if it's not that, I'm
You're
out.
not interested.
No,
We
not really.
don't have remaster Metal Gear Solid.
The Twin Snakes.
Right, on GameCube.
Yeah, it exists.
That's
You can
not
find
what
it.
you that's not PS5, PC, 4K. That's not what I'm talking about. Those aren't the same things.
Yeah, but even just a remat, I don't want that. I want the game completely
Well, they just
remade, new engine, everything. And if it's not that, I don't have the desire to go back and replay it. I want a brand new experience of this
You're
game.
saying go big or go home.
Yeah, basically. That's where I'm at.
All right. I would still
take
play
it.
I would play a modern remaster. I would. I'd be
I would
there
too.
day one.
I love Metal Gear Solid.
$70 if it's a PlayStation exclusive. Play on PS5. Like I'm day one to do that. I was playing Metal Gear Solid on my PC through GOG because it was the best way I could play, and it still wasn't great. I was playing it like 900 or 1080 or whatever. Like I would love fully redone, remade, remastered Metal Gear Solid. That'd be great. I want what you want. I would love nothing more than Metal Gear Solid remake. Oh my god. There are very
That'd be
few
cool.
announcements that could be announced that I would be as hyped for than if somebody came out on a stage and said Metal Gear Solid
Look,
remake.
If we can get
Oh
a
my
Final Fantasy
fucking
7
God.
remake, we can get a
Could you imagine
Metal
if
Gear Solid remake.
Metal Gear Solid but looks like Metal Gear Solid 5 plays. I'm like, oh my lord, that'd be so damn good.
Believe me. I mean, I got that. I got that with Final Fantasy VII. I want that. I want that for Metal Gear.
So good.
I want that for Metal Gear.
Remake is so good.
It is amazing.
I'll take
And
it.
if we can get that for Metal Gear Solid, I'm saying like if
I know what you're saying.
as much as you love Metal Gear Solid, what Remake did for Final Fantasy VII, I need that to be done for Metal Gear.
It deserves it.
Oh,
I mean, it deserves it.
It
There are
does.
few games that deserve it more. It'd be great if they would do a whole collection, but I don't think I think they're going to piecemeal them out. I do think at some point I'm expecting Konami to have a direct or something, or partner with somebody, and I'm expecting them to announce that they're bringing Metal Gear back. But I think it'll be a series of releases. I'm not expecting a collection or anything like that. I think they're going to be like, we're doing Metal Gear Solid 3 for the anniversary, and we have plans to do these other 5 Metal Gear games over the next, 6 years or whatever.
What would be the best case scenario?
Remake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they would like come on stage like, hey, we got Metal Gear Solid 3 coming out. Remake.
They remake everything
They-
Metal Gear Solid 1 through 4.
Yeah. And at the end, they say,
And not Revengeance.
we're remaking Metal
Right.
Gear Solid.
Like, they're not going to do Revengeance.
And
I wish they
Kojima's
would.
doing it.
They're not going to do Revengeance. The Kojima
That's
part's the
fun.
hard part. I don't think Kojima's going to be part of it.
Nope.
He's doing his own thing.
Yeah, he is, but it's possible to do
If
at
he's a
least one
consultant, maybe consult on it.
for one of them.
I
can
think
see
it
him
would
doing
be valuable to them to see if they could pay him just to bless the project.
Mm-hmm.
one.
Like, he could just do like a little video on his phone for $1 million. Be like, hey, I'm working with the team.
Yeah.
But if they have plans to do like future Metal Gear,
Metal Gear.
it would probably behoove them to at least bring him in as a writing credit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
even as like a consultant.
Time
mean-
heals all wounds. And
People
money.
are not going to be happy if he's not associated.
if he's not associated with it, it's not going to be batshit Kojima crazy.
it's
It's
going to
like,
be instant
what's
resistance.
the point? Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah,
No, don't do that.
yeah.
They are.
It's exciting, man. I hope
Yes.
we hear about it soon. I don't think we will. At the earliest, maybe the Game Awards, but I'm thinking next year. But
Yeah,
it could be the Game Awards.
You never know.
Keighley.
Jeff has up his sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This rumor has been out there for a while.
It's been up there forever.
I remember talking to Jeff.
Forever.
I was talking to Jeff Minkin on our podcast. But I remember talking
Probably.
to Jeff like a year ago. And I was like, Metal Gear's coming back. And he's like, yeah. And I remember he said, the thing that I remember, he was like, yeah, but it's weird because I keep hearing they're doing 3 first. I was like,
Yeah.
why? Like, I think everybody that every time this rumor's blipped up, the first response that everybody has is why. But that's what they're doing. They're starting with 3. 3's going to start first. Do you think
God,
they'll
I
do?
hope- I
Do
hope
you think
you're
they'll do
wrong.
4, or is 4
I
I
just
don't think
like
they
to be
can do
forgotten
4.
about?
I don't think they can do 4. I think the
they'll
PS3
do
and
4.
what it was done there was just a hot pile of trash, and I just don't think
Everything
they're gonna
can
do
be
it.
done, but
It can
Yeah,
be done,
think-
but
I think Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 is good.
All the ones to do.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
I
good there.
enjoyed 4 a lot.
I did not. That's when I jumped off the franchise.
I don't.
That's
I
why I,
don't
didn't
even
play
remember
Metal Gear
4.
Solid 5 for so long. I wasn't even interested in Metal Gear Solid 5 when it came out. I don't care all the reviews and everybody because of my experience with 4. I was like, nope.
4 is a very different game.
Oh, I know. I've gone back. I love Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Like, I've gone back to play it when it got cheap. Eventually, I jumped in. I was like, this is great.
5 is
But
That
4,
was good.
like, I got off the franchise at 4. I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing this.
I tried to
4
play 4, and I didn't have a HD TV, and the CRT TV with the PlayStation 3 was like almost unreadable. Like I could not see what the hell was going on, like the bottom right hand of the screen. So I just stopped playing it, and then tried to go back to it. And was like, what the hell is going on? And I just never played it again.
I think I bought a HD TV for 4.
That sounds right.
I did
think a lot
too.
of
I
people
bought it.
did.
I bought it eventually, but then trying to go back to it, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I've got Grand Theft Auto 4, so I'm gonna play that, and never went back to Metal Gear. I still have
now that I
5
think
in
about it-
digital shrink wrap, basically.
That might have been my first time buying a HD TV.
That would
Yeah.
be that
When I
would
got
make
the
sense.
PS3, they were like,
That was
they
when
were
It
like,
was
it
a
happened.
system seller.
Yeah.
People
Yeah,
went
I was
out
like,
of
hey.
their way to upgrade and everything for that game.
I remember going to Brands Mart.
That's why it
and
was
being
so
like, hey,
disappointing for me when I finally what
what TV can I use to play this and not spend a lot of money?
robbed?
And they were like, hey, take this TV. Nice.
I ended up
720.
getting 720. Oh God.
For all the dumb
Right.
shit that I just said about it, though, if
It
they
wa-
were like,
I was
we're
broke.
remastering Metal Gear Solid 4, I'd play it again. I'd try again.
I enjoyed it.
I'd play it for
All-
the first time because I don't remember it at all. Because I
Part of me
didn't
loves
play
the
it very
idea
long.
of them releasing a chronological order and like me allowing me to replay them through remakes all in order. That would be nice.
The only thing I didn't like about 4 was that ending. That ending was like 45 minutes long.
Every cutscene in
God
that damn game
damn.
is 45 minutes long.
Yeah, they are way too long.
That's the game.
Look, that's
the
when you're
ending
just
cutscene
supposed
is
to have
cutscene the
popcorn,
game.
a bowl of popcorn
It
next
is.
to you. So once the cutscene, you just kick your feet up, you lean back, you just start eating your popcorn and call it a day.
Kojima was like, I'm
something
really
else,
finna make a motherfucking movie.
I
Yeah,
can't
he
believe
was.
he hasn't made a movie yet. Like what?
Right.
Why hasn't he made a movie? I don't
He
understand.
should just make a movie. At
I'm
this
sure he's
point.
been offered.
He's got so many actors and directors that he works with. Just make a movie.
I'm sure
He
he's been
clearly
offered.
wants to.
Death Stranding.
Even Death Stranding's in is like really long.
It should have been a movie.
Death Stranding should have been a movie.
Yep.
And I'm sorry for those out there that don't like that or that like Death Stranding. Don't like hearing that.
I like
I don't,
Death Stranding, but
I don't think the gameplay is nearly good enough for it to be a game.
Death-
I think it
Death
makes more sense as a
Stranding's
movie.
It's a walking
gameplay
simulator.
doesn't
Yeah.
get good until you get like hours into the game,
Nope.
and that's not a good thing.
And I was out.
like every
I
other
enjoyed it, but it's
JRPG in the world.
Beautiful though.
Yeah,
40-hour tutorial.
Yeah, it's a mess.
I remember like it's a treat to get a gun in that game. Like, oh, I can shoot people now. Oh, okay, let's go.
Hour
That's not something you
24. Oh shit.
should- That's not something you should be saying in a
Combat.
video game.
Wow.
I can kill these things now. Let's go.
Nope.
Did you finish it, Delvin?
Yeah, I beat it.
Wow. It's impressive.
Yeah. Well, it's not because he played Gotham for 30 hours. So if he can slice through that, he can push through anything.
I quit on the
I
game so hard,
enjoyed
so
Death
fast.
Stranding for what it was.
I think I played Death Stranding for maybe 2 hours.
I think that's all I played it for too. And then there were other games to play, so I played them instead.
I
Wasn't
like-
even so much that I
I
didn't
I
wanna
like
remember
it.
say-
playing it, and the whole time I was playing it, I was just murmuring to myself, I was like, people love this? Like, they love this.
I want to say when I played Death Stranding, there was literally nothing out
People are
of
getting
it.
Death Stranding tattoos for this?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
That's what was going through my head when I was playing. I was like, this is the thing. It's got you all open arms. So,
Hilarious.
that's it.
All right. Well, let's get into some questions, gentlemen. Garrett says, what games or other things are you looking out for on Black Friday sales?
Blu-rays.
What?
You went Robo on
Blu-rays.
us.
I buy Blu-rays on Black
Blu-rays.
Friday.
You went Robo on
4K
us. Didn't hear
Blu-rays.
you. Okay.
4K
I feel like there's a
Blu-rays.
bunch
I
of
get a lot
those have been
4K
on
Blu-rays.
sale like
They have
now.
been for weeks.
Yeah.
Which
But
ones?
they get
What are you specifically looking for?
funny. I just got one today that was real cheap. I got on what is it? Everywhere, everything, all at once
Yeah, that's like
for
$6.
like
right
$6.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one.
I almost popped on that one, although that one's strange. I love that movie. I just don't know if I want to watch it again.
Movie's great.
Like, I really don't think I would want to watch it again. That's an interesting one for me.
I think I would. I probably I usually buy like Blu-ray TV show box sets of shows I like a
Yeah.
lot.
Good time.
A lot of stuff like that. Video
Just put
games I get
Spartacus
to.
on sale.
I need to
The
watch
whole-
that.
the whole
I have not watched
collection.
that yet.
My wife and
People
I
tell me
watched
that's
it years
really good.
ago when it was on.
Spartacus.
Like it's very soap opera-y, but it's like a smutty version of a soap opera, but with lots of blood. It's like if you took a daytime soap opera and mixed it with 300 and like a
It was on
splash
Showtime, right?
yeah, and like a splash
Stars.
of Skinamax.
Stars? Okay.
That's
I think I
It will start.
have the first season because when I was working for Best Buy, and we had like our whole video game conference, they gave us just a ton of games and movies and stuff. And
Yeah.
I think that was one of them, and I think it's still in plastic somewhere.
Yeah, we watched it years ago. It was on Netflix. My wife and I watched it together, and we got like into it to the point we watched the whole thing. It was years ago. I'm talking, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. It was a long time ago. So I'm looking forward to watching it again. Like, I want to go through the thing eventually.
Yeah. I usually get like a lot of that type of stuff, Blu-rays, DVDs, stuff like that. I rarely get video games because video games are cheap, but they're usually cheap on digital as well. Like I just buy the digital version.
Yeah, but that still counts on Black Friday.
Yeah. They still have a whole sale for those things where you can get them half off.
But it don't necessarily be on Black
Especially
Friday.
Ubisoft titles.
Ubisoft titles be always cheap.
Oh, that's
you can
true.
wait a week later after they come out.
Dude, did you guys see the Sonic sale this week?
Oh, I
Frontiers
know.
was
Walmart,
$40.
$30, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
That
price.
shit didn't last long. It was like 5 days.
Yeah.
That happened real fast.
Yeah, one of my coworkers bought it. He saw it on sale. Like, oh, I'm gonna buy this, and he said he enjoyed it. Yeah. I'm not looking for anything. I hardly ever do any shopping on Black Friday. I don't want none of that crap.
I love it. I love Black Friday. I don't buy TVs on Black Friday. That's
a very Florida thing.
You should never buy a TV on Black Friday, especially if it's a TV that's only sold on Black Friday because it's garbage.
Tell the people why. I don't understand.
It's usually the TVs that are sold only on Black Friday just are really cheap TVs. They're not good quality. So while it may say it's 4K and it's got HDR, no, it doesn't. It's just some really cheap end TV. You're better off, huh?
Vibrant mode.
Yeah, you're better off saving your money and putting it towards the TV that happens to be on sale that's normally sold.
I learned this lesson from Dev years ago, but apparently when you're in the know, these companies build TVs in other countries with cheap stuff specifically for Black Friday. Like they have Black Friday sets. They'll have the same model number and everything.
Yeah.
So
it's 4K with a question mark. 4K?
Yeah, so I typically just don't even bother shopping on Black Friday. I just never have. Part of it is because I always worked Black Friday, so the whole idea of buying stuff on Black Friday just never was a thing I did.
Yeah.
And most of the video games are physical. I don't want those. I
moved to digital Black Friday shopping years ago. I don't think I've gone out for Black Friday since the 3DS days. It's been so long since I've been out on
I will say this.
On a Black Friday.
You kind of don't have to go out no more because Amazon just has all the same goddamn deals. Just order it from Amazon.
Everybody matches.
Now.
Everybody
Everything
matches.
is on sale now.
Everything goes early. Right, once somebody pops, then everybody else pops. I am hunting this year. I don't know what I'm hunting for, but I have amassed a Steam wallet, and I'm going to buy all kinds of shit as soon as this autumn sale goes. Probably a bunch of shit I already own on PlayStation.
I'm going to probably do the same thing you're doing. Yeah.
But I'm going to start building out my Steam library. Like I'm going to get. I think the games, like there are several indie games that I've had on my wish list one's called Undying. The other one's called Faith. It's from New Blood. So there's several indie games that I
think I got the Faith game.
Nice. There's several indie games that I've got on my wish list. And then I want to fill out my library with games that I wouldn't mind picking up Saints Row on the cheap on PC, Little Big Planet, the Spider-Man games, like things that I have on other systems, but I would like to consolidate my library to Steam because I think moving forward, I'm going to start just buying the majority of my games just on Steam. So I've got $190 to spend, which feels like a lot for a Steam sale. Like I should be able to do some damage with $190.
I got about 70.
And I just bought like 10 games. If you guys didn't see the screenshot, I bought like all the Devil May Cries, and I just bought a bunch of stuff too.
Got to catch them all.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, they were like $2. That's the beauty.
When you see that price, you got to jump.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Y'all do.
You don't.
Y'all do. I have no desire. I'm good.
No. I would like to pick up any of the Xbox games I don't have, the Forzas and things like that. Anything that I ever plan on maybe replaying. That's like
Spec
maybe
the line.
That's I'm not going to replay that, so I'm not going to buy that.
I love Spec Ops the Line. That's a great game.
Let's see.
I have it and haven't played it.
You haven't ever played
Windbound,
Nope.
Saints Row, Red Faction, all the Devil May Cry, Blossom Tales, a bunch of Warhammer games. I got Vampire Survivor, or Yarden sent me Vampire, and I got Way of the Hunter.
I think he sent me that too.
That was that hunting game I wanted to play. Way of the Hunter, the open world hunting game. I
What the hell is this Vampire
I saw
Survivor game? I keep hearing about that.
Like some
pretty fun.
NES bullet hell game that the world loves. Like people really,
never
really
mind.
love that game. I've been
You
hearing
said
about it all
NES
year.
and Bullet Hell. No, thank you. Never
Dumb
mind.
fun game.
Instant turn off.
So I'm looking forward to. I've already done all my Christmas shopping and everything, so I'm not looking for anything like that. I don't need any Chromebooks, or tech, or monitors, or cards, or I don't need anything like that. So
Yeah. Next question. Rian says, at what price would you be interested in PSVR 2? Do you think we'll get a Black Friday sale for that in 2023?
No.
yes, on the sale.
I would agree. I would think there'll be a sale, but there's none.
Didn't they do that with the
enough
first
to get
one?
me in it.
There was like a real good sale, like a bundle that one time.
Was it the first
And that's
year?
when a
though?
lot of people got it.
I-
Yeah, they had a one sale where it was like
bundle-
$150 off that one year.
Yeah, the
can
first
see a
Black Friday
bundle
came
coming.
out. It was a huge bundle. Yeah, it was a great bundle. But yeah,
For me, I don't know. Like, I generally just think I'm not interested. I don't think it's a price. Because, like, here's the thing. If I was really interested in it, I'd buy it at $550. It's not really the
Yeah.
price. To me, it'd be more
What's the
about the
price for that?
content. It'd have to be more than one games that are really compelling me to buy it. It's not really the price that's keeping me away. I'm not upset with the price. I think it's too much, but I'm not like, I bought my PC. I would buy it if I liked it. If I wanted it, I'd have one.
yeah.
My problem is the want part. I don't want it.
That's
want-
the same boat.
My want doesn't go up as the price comes down. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
$3.99.
No, thank you.
You're in at $399.
$3.99. I'll be in.
Is there a game? Is
I
there
would
a reason
consider.
why, or just new tech?
New tech. Seeing where they go with it.
Yeah. So it's just like
See-
curiosity.
Yeah.
I get that. I like
Seeing
buying new tech.
if the hype. If I can believe the hype.
Yeah. $400 is a lot to check out some hype.
Elden Ring all over again.
No, but
Yeah.
see, I like like I said before, I like PSVR 1 a lot. My biggest problem with PSVR 1 was that stupid long, setting up that long, ridiculous cable and stuff like that.
You still don't have a cable.
But it's just
No
one.
breakout
Yes.
box. It's just one
You still
cable.
have a cable.
Yeah. The
Look,
PSVR 1 had
just-
like the goddamn RCA cables, like you're hooking up a stereo in the back of it and shit. Like, nah.
Just build the PC
Then you
and
had
get a
to have
Quest,
the-
man. Stop playing.
Yeah.
I got a Quest too.
So why?
Build
Okay.
the PC.
So what
Stop
are you-
playing.
All right. I'm going to keep diving. I'm going to keep stretching. You have the Quest 2, so why are you
And
interested?
I enjoy
in
the Quest 2. I'm not. If it was $3.99, I'd probably
Why
be more
are you
interested in to
interested
play
in
the PlayStation.
PlayStation at $399 if you have a Quest? I'm very.
Because I play the exclusives.
If you already have a Quest, now you're spending $400 to play what? 2 games?
Call of the Mountain, Horizon. That's what you want to play?
Like I said, that's what. See,
That's
at
a lot,
first
man,
I
for
was
2
interested in it because At first I was interested in it because like, oh, I thought it was backwards compatible, but it's now that knowing it's not backwards compatible. That
I could have told
took
you
me out of it a lot.
I told you the get-go was going to be backwards compatible.
Yeah,
pretty
that
sure
took
we
me out
did.
a lot.
It's
I know
never
that-
going to be.
that-
Now the point I was always making is not that it was going to be backwards compatible. We know it's not. Was I was still thinking there should be some dual entitlement ownership.
Patch the games and give them to
Yeah.
us.
Give the games. Yeah.
Yes, because I own a
That's
lot of
not backwards
PSVR games that I
compatibility.
want to play.
Well, in your
Yeah.
library.
Just patch the games and give people who already have.
Is Call of
the
the
games,
Mountain
the
that game?
games.
Do you have a game that you're like, I would buy it for $400 for this one game?
Iron Man.
No, not yet.
Iron Man just came to Quest.
Yeah, and I just bought it on Quest, and it's
Of course
great
you
on Quest.
So I'm
I
really
love Iron Man VR on PSVR.
so it. Based on your answers, it really just sounds like you would just buy it just because you want to check out the new thing, which is fine. I'm not
Yes.
slamming. I do that shit all the time.
Not at that
so don't
price.
feel bad. I do that
Yes,
shit
he
all the
does.
time.
All the
And
time.
I
It
tell
all goes
people it's
back.
totally
He
fine to
sells
do
it
so.
and
Well,
turns
then,
it
yeah.
into more cool shit.
But that's just what it sounds like. There's not like a game that you're
Yeah,
like,
no,
oh,
there's no game right now. I've seen Call of Duty like this. It looks okay, looks cool, looks pretty. I wonder how it looks in VR. VR is hard to kind of like gauge because you have to actually have it on your head and see
that's true.
what it is for you
Yeah.
to get the full
Especially
experience of it.
new PlayStation lenses. That shit might look downright amazing
Yeah,
in their headset. Because their stuff
Yeah.
looks real like high fidelity.
Which is part of the reason why the price is what it is.
So
and the
high.
price makes sense for the tech. I mean, if you look at like what it's competing with, like the Vive and the higher end VR sets, that's what they cost.
Yeah, they do. I wish there was an Astrobot game.
There probably will be.
Yeah, I think there will be too. I wish there was one at launch.
I just don't understand Astrobot in VR. It doesn't make
That's
sense
really
to
fun.
me.
Astrobot VR was great.
But I'm not. Is it me playing as the Astrobot, or am I controlling something that I'm moving in a 3D
Controlling
space?
Astrobot, but you get like different perspectives based on your position in the VR. It's neat. It's a different experience.
Yeah. See.
Yes.
Oh, I want the goddamn holodeck. Until that happens, I don't care about VR.
Oh, the next one, PSVR 2, Astrobot. You might just be Astrobot.
Yeah, I want the holodeck. That's just what it boils down to for me. I don't really have a care for VR at all. Just not my thing.
Okay.
There you are.
That's fair.
So to take it to the Wayback Machine, Rian also wants to know, did Delvin grow up wanting to be a rapper? And what made you put the mic down, sir?
Okay, I give that. I grew up wanting to be a cartoonist.
Ooh,
That's what I wanted to be when I was a kid.
I was a drew.
People who know me
I didn't know you could draw.
I'm a huge. Yeah, I used to be able to draw really good. I used to be a huge I'm still a huge cartoon fan. Like, I used to watch like a lot of cartoon shows when I was a kid, and I would sit there and draw them all day. Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, stuff like that. I would just sit there and draw those shows and read comic books and draw it. That was my thing. And someone in my family, don't do this to your kids, by the way. It wasn't an adult. Told me this, and I would never forget. They were like, there are no black cartoonists. Stop.
Damn.
They straight up told me that, and I stopped. Ever since then, I stopped drawing.
Why didn't you say I'll be the first?
I'll be the first one. Yeah.
Because I was 10. I was like 10, 12.
Dude, I'm still rebellious.
I've been like, okay,
that'll
be me then.
Until I show up, go fuck off.
Yeah.
But I'm just that way.
Me now would be like
my instant
would be like,
reaction
fuck
to things
off.
like that. I'm just that way.
That's like that motivation factor. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was before
Watch
Devil
me.
was in the streets. Like 16-year-old Devil told him something. Young Devil was like, okay. I got into rap when I was rapping when I was 16. And I did a lot of stuff. Like I used to produce beats for people in the group, like the Legacy. We used to rap together. I rapped till I was 25.
It's a long time.
Around the time when I had Delvin. And then they were like, yeah, my ex-wife was like, gotta kind of stop rapping. Gotta be a dad.
Damn.
Can't be out here trying to go to clubs and perform and stuff like that. Being here hanging out with unsavory cats making beats.
We're starting a label.
Yeah. I kind of was at that point. I was producing beats for rappers, some who don't know other business. I was producing beats for rappers. I was doing a lot of stuff, and
You were into the exchanging of goods and services.
yes, and she'd be like, "Hey, you're about to have a son. You can't be out here in these streets like this." And I was like, "You're kind of right. I can't be." I already had a regular job anyway, and it was like, this
Again,
was a
the
little
first thing I
side.
thought of was like, why not? Tons of people are. I totally can.
Yeah.
Apparently, you just throw Delvin some small fact. He's like, well, I'm just not going to do this anymore and just stop and dream.
Yeah, it was more like, look, the people that you are hanging around with doing these beats for are in another type of business, and that business may cause harm to you.
Yeah.
Yes. So they were like, and it's not even me doing it. They're like me going in the studios, making beats. Shit happens. They were like, you probably shouldn't be doing this right now. So I'm like, all right, that makes sense. Let me go be a dad and be responsible and shit. And that's what I chose. I chose. So Delvin Jr., it's your fault I'm not a goddamn rapper right now.
You killed his dream. But see, that's when you take the laptop home and you start making the beats and things in your home, and you turn one of your rooms into a studio, and you just continue the dream there. What happened?
Yeah, you just laid it down. You just stopped.
I was poor at that time. There was no turning rooms to studios. There was like, hey, turn this room to a baby room. That was the goal. I want to say we were living with Delvin was born. We living in a 1-bedroom.
Yeah.
And I want to say we ended up turning the living room into our room and turning the bedroom to the baby
When
room.
Jack
almost.
was born, we had a 575 square foot 1-bedroom.
Yeah. Wasn't fun. It was fun. It was cozy and quaint. You know, that's what doing what you do to survive. But it was like a.
You gotta get your hustle and flow on, man.
Yeah. It was, like I said, rapping was fun. I love rapping and making beats and stuff like that. People are trying to get me to produce stuff now, and I'm starting to get back into it a little bit. Because it's something I enjoy.
I was gonna say you need to get back into it.
Happiness.
Start drawing too.
Yeah, I might actually start getting back
down there
into
and
those type of things.
The gold coin of the villages. Give it a couple years.
Yeah, man. I just it's more of a thing where
community.
I've done
Gold coin.
Gold Coin Productions.
Hey man, I saw a
Another
documentary and those old people have club nights and shit. Like they get down.
They do.
Yeah.
They really do. They get. I forgot what that was I was watching when they were saying that in old folks' home, that's where the most cases of STDs get passed around.
Getting it.
Because the old people be fucking.
Time is short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't blame them.
Everything speeds up when you see the end of the line coming. Oh.
Well, that was a nice trip down memory lane. Delvin, I hope you pick the mic back up, start producing some things, and drawing some stuff. Like, get back to the things that made you happy as a child.
Yeah, my daughter's really good at drawing now.
Well, there you go. Y'all can be a tandem. You know what I'm saying? Kick Delvin out the house. He's 18 now anyway. You got to go. I'm going to live my dreams. My turn.
Yeah, he's not cool.
Jack really likes drawing as well. It's very artistic. Unlike your family member, I told him, I was like, yeah, you can be an animator. You can make video games. You can be in graphic design. His new thing is he's starting to find a love into into the cars and stuff. He's now like, could I paint? Like, could I paint cars? And he's seen, like, I've shown him videos and stuff that people do graphics and wraps and custom jobs and flake and designs. And he is eating that shit up. He's like, that is awesome. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, if you get good at it, you make a lot of money at it too. Like, this is a profitable business.
You can go buy all your Jordans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this is actually a legit path forward. I don't know so much on the graphic design. We got computers doing that shit for people now. I was like, but the other side, oh yeah, for sure. Somebody's gonna have to paint those.
Airbrushing cars is a huge thing down here. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've shown him. There's a guy that we follow that spray paints cars with actual spray paint cans, and it's very like graffiti work. And he's got a whole, just an army of customers and stuff, and he travels just the country to car shows and stuff, and it's legit. Like he uses legit spray paint, like from a store. He spray paints a whole damn car, and then they clear coat and seal it, and it looks pretty awesome. It's pretty amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I showed that to Jack. I was like, you don't even need to do all the, actual paint booth stuff if you don't want to. I was like, the professionals do. I was like, this kid's out here just doing it with damn spray cans. Charging people, Lord knows what, but he's painting like Shaq's cars and shit. So it's got to be, it's not cheap.
Doing something right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about like art is it doesn't matter. Like if you're good, you're good. Art respects talent.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So Drew wants to know top 3 or 5, if you want, favorite video game characters, and why do you think you like them so much?
Oof.
That's a good question. Whew.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do
top
that.
3 or 5?
We'll just do top 3 because 5 is a lot. Top 3 characters.
This is hard.
Travis Touchdown. Ellie. I don't know. It's so hard because it's like, it's hard to separate your favorite game or franchise from a character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? There are characters that I love, but there are games I love more. Like, I love Zelda games, but I'm not going to pick Link.
Link ain't even really a character. He's just an avatar.
Kind of. I mean, he is a representation of the player.
Yeah.
It's kind of what you make it. So that's what I'm trying to respect. So I was trying to think Gears, and it's like, Marcus maybe, but top 3?
I love Marcus. Marcus is great. I'm gonna go. This is really hard. Joel, of course, from The Last of Us.
I'm looking around for inspiration.
Commander Shepard.
I suddenly can't remember any character that I've ever played a game at.
Lee Everett. There you go.
Okay.
Marcus from Watch Dogs 2 is by far one of my favorite video game characters of all time. He's just
Dev.
Basically. It's like, oh my God, it's a black dude in tech, and he's just fucking cool. He's a black nerd. It's great. So yeah, I really enjoyed his character. Ezio from Assassin's Creed, I really enjoyed him and watching his growth.
Pimp.
Yeah, he was dope. Definite pimp. Third one is tough.
That's right.
Probably
Great characters.
Samus Aran.
Okay.
I really like her, and she's a bounty hunter. She kicks ass. She takes names, and they're starting to do more with her. So all of the Metroid Other M's and all that good stuff.
We may
I feel
never
like
hear
they
from
are.
her again.
We may not, but the fact that Metroid Dread was a thing, and the Metroid Fusion game, Metroid Fusion and Metroid's like Zero Hour, I feel like fleshed her out a little bit more because there was a lot more dialogue in the game. So yeah, I really enjoy Samus.
Samus is dope.
I mean, Ellie, I just fell in love with. She's such a cool kid, and she goes on such a heartwarming journey, and she's so down. She's so, I don't know the right word, believable, genuine.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right. We're genuine. She does feel like a real kid with real emotions, and
I know a lot of people.
Video game.
A lot of podcasters that we know. I know a lot of folks have taken to her as like a daughter figure. I never did that. I never really associated her with my daughter or having being a father. I just think she's a really believable character. It's real easy to kind of to accept it as is without realizing it's a video game. It just feels very real.
Yeah.
So that's an easy one. Travis is the other easy one for me. I love Travis because he's so over the top and goofy and funny and brash and perverted and crass, and he brings to life Japanese horror films and anime and Japanime and hentai and just all this shit that like swirls around video games but isn't like talked about like in the open as main characters and shit, and he does. And not only does it, but he does it like with authority. He does it with conviction. He's just fucking cool. So I've always liked Travis because of that. The third one I don't know. I have 1,000 characters I could pick from. You said Ezio, I could say Eivor, I could say Johnny Silverhand, I could say Chloe Price, I could say Senua, I could say Marcus Phoenix for a bunch of different reasons. I don't know how I could pick one over the other to call it my favorite. I don't know. I mean, I love them all for different reasons. I love all of their games for different reasons. Fetch. I don't know. So those two stand
Video
above the
games
rest.
has a lot of great characters, a lot of memorable characters in it. So it's kind of hard to just pick one. Like even me picking those three, I just immediately think of Clementine. The attachment you got, what I have playing those games and watching her.
Clementine, I felt more protective and fatherly over than Ellie, for sure. Whereas Ellie is very
with her.
I'm sorry.
Ellie handled her own.
Exactly. I think that's a big part of it. Yeah. She doesn't need it. She's very capable.
Yeah.
Like you said, she's super believable, just like the spunk that she has of just
get
it out the mud,
Yeah. Like I would rock with Ellie.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I'm trying to pick a good one here because we're hitting that good old 2-hour mark. Brendan wants us to name his G Cloud.
To name it?
Yeah, he says, I just got my G Cloud. I'm asking you good people to decide, what am I naming mine?
Oh, boy. I've never named a console. Have you guys
Do you
named
name your
consoles? Is that a
PC?
thing? No.
Do you name your PC? Yeah, see, I named my PC. My PC's name is
I don't name
Voltron.
my console.
Name cars.
Same thing.
No, I get it. It's the same thing, but I feel like it's common for it to name your car or like boats. That's a
I
common.
didn't name my car. I just named my PC. That's the only thing I've ever really named.
What's your PC's name?
Voltron.
Voltron. Mm-hmm. Okay. Delvin, do you name things?
No, not at all.
Yeah, neither do I. That's tough. All right, how about this? We're just gonna leave it to fate.
Uh-oh.
Video game name generator. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna do the thing. Action, adventure, or role playing?
Action adventure.
Yeah.
Give me a letter.
Z.
Give me another letter, Delvin.
S.
Z Storm.
That is a video game name.
That's the name.
There you go.
The Z
Yeah,
Storm.
Z-Storm.
Brendan
There
and
you
the
go.
Z Storm.
Yeah. There you go.
That's awful.
Just call it Gold Coin.
Hang on a second.
Maybe
Let's
not
try
for
it
me.
again. Give me a different
Gold coin is good.
adventure.
Just call it the gold coin.
Okay,
Yeah, call
here
me
we go.
Gold Coin. G Cloud, Gold Coin.
Ooh, we've got a couple to pick from. All right, how about this? Dev, give me a number 1 through 9.
2.
Dev, give me a number 1 through 9.
2.
I mean, Delvin.
7.
Other Dev. Dead Blade.
That's
Okay.
a great name.
There we go.
I like that name.
There we go.
Dead Blade.
The Dead Blade.
Brendan the Dead Blade. It's pretty good.
He also wants to know what are some of our comforts for feeling under the weather? Like what
He's
when
been
you're sick,
feeling
just-
bad. Yeah, he's been sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you guys
Hot
do?
and sour soup.
I just
Some
sleep.
Hot and sour soup.
Hot and sour soup.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
say that I've ever had it.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty. You get it at Japanese restaurants. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's good for when you're sick.
What's it taste like?
Yeah.
Beyond the obvious
Little tangy,
descriptions.
spicy, little spicy, not too spicy.
Mm-hmm.
It has what's the damn thing it's called? It has tofu in it.
Oh,
A
that's
little
a no.
piece of tofu,
Never mind. Forgot that I asked.
bean sprouts, and
regret that
something
I
else in
asked.
it.
Yeah, you can get it without the tofu, but I like the bean sprouts.
You can.
And I'll probably throw noodles in it, like the crunchy noodles.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You can
Okay.
get it without tofu.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I just sleep. That's pretty much it. Whenever I'm sick, I just sleep that shit off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
If
take.
I'm really sick, I don't play video games.
Yeah, neither do I. I can't.
can't.
Yeah, I can't.
I
If I'm really
can.
sick, if I'm kind of sick, totally about video games all day long. But if I'm really sick, not a chance in the world.
Yeah,
Nope.
I lay down and watch cartoons all day.
I can't focus. Because when I'm really, so that's the difference. I'm glad you said that, because when I'm really sick, I'm in and out of consciousness. Like if I've got
Me
the
too.
flu or something, I am barely awake for longer than maybe an hour at a time. Because I will take all kinds of meds and I will go to sleep. And usually when I get sick, my sleep, you guys know how my sleeping schedule is already. The other night I couldn't sleep. And when I started Somerville, I was up at like 2 a.m. So when I'm sick, that gets worse. And my sleep just goes out the fucking window. So I'll sleep 2 hours here, 2 hours there, 2 hours there, 2 hours here, kind of around the clock. I'm kind of up and down. So yeah, I can't in video games. I can barely with movies.
Yeah.
Actually, with movies, I like to find a movie that I've typically already seen but don't care about, just because I know I'm probably going to pass out at some
That's
point.
how I do with
during.
cartoons.
Yeah, it's like
That's why I
comfort
like
food.
Craig of the Creek.
It's just like
SpongeBob.
background noise.
Yeah.
I do curl up in my chair when I'm. It's so funny, or not so funny. I hate saying that. I say that all the time. You guys know that I'm real big about like, not being hot, right? It's like when I'm
Yes.
like I keep the house real cold. I have an air conditioner. I have a gigantic barrel fan, So and everybody knows. I like my mother-in-law. She comes to my house like bundled up like an Eskimo because of how cold my house is, according to her, cold. So I'm known to be very cold-natured. When I'm sick, that shit goes out the window. I want to be very, very warm and insulated. For some reason, I get that way. Or I'll put on like 2 pairs of socks, jogging pants, hoodies, beanies, blankets. Like I get real. I just want to be like warm all the time. I take baths a lot when I get sick. I might take 2 or 3 baths or showers a day. Stay like very clean. I do drink. When I get sick, I drink a lot of alcohol. Yeah.
Interesting.
Bourbon, though. Only bourbon.
Sweat it out.
Yeah, kind of. That's a big part of it, yeah. That is kind of a thing that I've always done. When I get really sick, I like to go that way. So I stay hydrated. It requires double to stay hydrated, but, you know. I'll sauna if I can, if I've got the energy.
Yeah. I don't get super sick very often, so I'll just sleep and then
I've been on a good run here lately. You know, last year or two.
Yeah, I was sick this weekend, but not like deathly sick, just
it's going around.
Cough. Yeah.
It's funny, yeah, since COVID started, that's actually the last time I got really sick. Right when COVID started, I got really sick and everybody swore it was COVID. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
And I went to all the doctors. Yeah, it was the flu. I had flu A. And I was like the first person of the year apparently that had flu. Like, don't do this shit to me now. What are you doing here? That was the last time I got sick. That was 2020. And through the whole time since COVID and all that, right as rain.
Same.
My entire family got COVID. I never did. My entire family got sick. Not me. My daughter and wife, I both got the flu. Not me. Like, I have been on a great run here. I've been on a tear of late.
Yeah, me and my son have managed to stay away from COVID. Both my wife and daughter got it. And usually when somebody in the house gets sick,
everybody gets
my daughter and my wife and my son just ping pong it around each other, and I usually don't get sick, and they just get so mad at me. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I told my family, I told my work, the folks at my work, the last time I was working the election, they were like, how did you manage to not get it? Because my boss was like, I'm sure you got it and you just didn't know. And I'm like, you underestimate the distance that I put between me and the rest of my family on a daily basis. I was like, I'm in my own little world in the basement. Like, I'm like a cave troll. I'm not going up there and hanging out with them and all that. Like, I'm doing my own thing, man. And I was like, seriously, there's a general good buffer there, unless we're going to sleep, right? And I think lucky for us, caught Melissa early. I didn't sleep in there. I slept downstairs. So
yeah, when they had it, they stayed in their rooms. I stayed down here. Me and Hudson slept in his room. I slept on the floor. Like, I'm not going in there with that. No, thank you. Y'all are quarantined. Stay
Sucks,
away.
Brendan. Sorry you're sick, man. But he's been sending me pictures of him on his G Unit. And I'm glad he's having a lot. I played some G Unit this week. I played the Minish Cap for a couple hours. Played a new Pokemon update.
That's what that game was. I was like, what the hell is Zelda game?
I never played Zelda the Minish Cap. And it looked fun. I had fun playing it for 2 hours. I don't know if I'll go back. I'm sure I will at some point, but I'll probably restart it. Like one day I'd like to sit down and play it. I was just playing to pass time. Because I was at the shop. But the G Unit is legit. It's been a lot of fun. Still enjoying it.
Nice. All right, last question, and then we will get out of here. Let's see.
Make it a good one.
Trying to find a good one. Ray says, with all of the Xbox versus PS news that we've had, it reminds me of the playground when we all argued Sega versus Nintendo. What are your favorite rivalries in video games?
Ken versus Ryu, of course.
That's a good one.
Sub-Zero versus Scorpion. That's the one I remember vividly being in the arcades. Everybody wanted to play. I was the oddball who liked to play as Johnny Cage, and everybody like, oh, we got to play as Sub-Zero.
Johnny Cage was dope. I love Johnny Cage.
My dude.
Johnny Cage and Liu Kang.
I always played as Sonya.
I don't think there's any good rival. I guess Mario and Sonic's probably the one everybody talking about.
Is that really?
Sonic.
That was a thing.
Yeah, it definitely was
That
a
was
thing.
a thing.
That was the playground.
Back in the 90s.
It was Mario versus
that was the
Sonic,
that was the
for
argument.
sure.
People bought into that. Even people who, Sonic 2 is better than Mario 2. Like, are you smoking crack? Like, no, it's not. It's good.
I wasn't
good.
thinking of it like characters like he is. I was thinking of like companies, and I didn't know if there was any
Companies?
characters. I mean, you could just pick any like good guy and bad guy, right? Link, Ganondorf, Mario, Bowser.
But is that really a rival? That's just like antagonist and protagonist. A rivalry would be more like Mario versus Sonic. Like they're your rivals. You're trying to do better.
That's a good point. Yeah, I guess you're right. The Templars and the Assassins.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
But
Yeah.
If you want to go company rivals, 2K and EA.
mm-hmm.
Back when they had the sports things,
Sure.
that was a rivalry.
Not just the sports things. When they started doing the open world things, like they definitely tried to catch up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm looking through a list. This is a good one. Pokemon Red versus Blue. It's good.
Which one did y'all get? I'm curious.
I got Yellow.
That's the one I wanted.
I wasn't even as cool as the kid.
Yellow
Yeah,
was Pikachu.
I didn't get that was my first Pokemon game was when Yellow came out. And I don't remember now. I want to say this, but I might be just misremembering, making shit up in my mind. I never had a Game Boy. We've talked about this in the past. I've told you a story. I never had portables. I didn't play Pokemon until they came out with the adapter for 64. There was an adapter that you could plug a Game Boy cartridge in, and if you had Pokemon Stadium, you could play the game in emulator in Pokemon Stadium. And I feel like that cartridge came out with Yellow. I don't know if that's true or not, but I definitely got it with Yellow, but I think that was like a thing with Yellow. When they did like Red, Blue come out, and then Yellow came later. And I think Yellow
way later.
Yellow
Pikachu
came.
got popular.
I think Yellow came with that. It didn't come with an adapter. I think that adapter came out around when Yellow came, and I think that's when I got into Pokemon. So I'm just like way late to it, but I know that there was a big thing of like Red versus Blue. Like, which one did you have? I don't know if it was a rivalry. It's just kind of a separation between people.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say like it's funny he says Xbox, PlayStation, and we're talking about this in the guise of this Activision stuff, but like 360 PlayStation 3 was a big one back in the day.
That was a huge rivalry for sure.
I almost felt like back then it was a bigger rivalry than it is now.
It is definitely was bigger back then because there was so much. Like Xbox mopped the floor with them to begin with, but then PlayStation became what they are now with like these huge blockbuster games.
Kind of changed what they were doing and definitely started to make up ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Bad Boys versus Death Row. That's rap. But
look at this.
Yeah.
This is Falco and Fox. It's a good one.
Yeah, definitely a good one.
Yeah.
Solid Snake versus Liquid Snake.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's definitely not anything better than like Sega Nintendo's it.
That's the one. That's what started it all.
That is the one. Like that started there's a reason why it's called Console Wars. Like that shit started it then. Like was Console Wars before Sega Nintendo a thing? Like in the Atari?
Not really.
Jaguar,
Nobody cared about that Atari.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing. It was all just different games. Right?
Nobody gave a fuck about Atari versus ColecoVision. Get the fuck out of here.
No.
And Sega Nintendo, that's why I said the company started the console.
That's the one.
Not us. They did that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't. That was the thing.
With Nintendo. You don't even have to say Nintendo don't. Just Nintendo.
That was
Gotta get Genesis.
Big thing.
Such a good marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
What
Like
is
ahead
it,
of
blast
its time, like,
processing?
Way better. Blast processing.
Blast processing. Oh, and then when they had the Game Gear and they made fun of just the green puke screen of the Game Boy.
Yes. I remember all that stuff. I remember people buying into it heavy.
Yeah.
I remember the games being like they would come out with the games that were vastly different. It was the same game. Like Street Fighter played different on Super NES than it did on Genesis.
Yeah.
That was the fun of it. That was the whole fun of it. Like, hey, our version's better.
You keep looking at lists, and they're all the same antagonist, protagonist type stuff.
Yeah. You could even say Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Was it a 2K versus like 2K Sports versus EA Sports? That was a lot of fun for a while, and that definitely like divided people. Like you either played one or the other. Like very few people were playing both.
You know what, Donnie? You might remember this.
Call of Duty
WWF games versus WCW games.
I don't think that was a rivalry.
Remember that short period of time?
No, I don't.
Yeah, it definitely was. Because remember,
how many WCW games were there? There were like
both.
two.
And the thing about that is,
there were a lot.
The developer, there was a lot. The developer, the main developer, was making both of them. So that's where I feel like it wasn't much.
It changed because at first, Acclaim made WWF games and they sucked, and THQ made the WCW games and they were really good.
Right.
And then what happened was they flipped, and THQ started making WWE games, and Acclaim started making WCW and ECW games, and they were really bad.
Yeah.
Really, really bad. But
yeah.
That was for quite a...
Some of those games you're thinking of like the N64 games that I always talk about, but there are a lot of other
N64, yes.
Backstage Assault, WWE Warzone. There were some really shitty wrestling.
Really shitty ones.
Yeah.
WCW, NWO Thunder.
I had that one.
Holy shit, Thunder. I had Thunder, and I liked Thunder. But when you go back to play Thunder now,
it's
that
bad.
is some hot trash. But the thing that made Thunder really cool back in the day was it had like little
voice acting
video clips on the roster character screen. So when you went to go pick a character, they would talk to you. So like you would hover over them and their character would appeal and they would play like a little FMV clip of the damn wrestler. You'd be like, hey,
say something.
It's me, DDP.
I remember
and you
that.
need me in your corner. Like, and they would like try to like encourage you to pick them. And back then, that was the hottest shit in the world. I was like, oh my God, you'd never seen anything like that in a game before. Not even a wrestling, in a game. That was really cool shit.
From 98 or from 97 to 99, there was like 2 WCW games a year. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, because it was popular. And they used to have one. They used to have one on N64, which was the good one, and they used to have one on PlayStation, which was the bad one.
There were 2 that were on PlayStation. So Mayhem, WCW Mayhem, and WCW NWO Nitro. Those were both on PlayStation in 99.
Nitro and Thunder are basically the same game. They're like sequels.
Mayhem. What happened was
sucked.
It was terrible.
Mayhem was real bad.
Much like
Mayhem
WCW
got
at that
ported
time.
to 64, right? And
yes, I think so.
That might be one of the worst ports ever. Yeah, Mayhem on 64 was real bad.
It's bad, yeah.
But then you also have the Golden Age, man. You've got NWO World Tour, Revenge,
and, WCW versus the World.
No Mercy.
Really good.
WrestleMania 2000.
WrestleMania 2000.
Those were all excellent.
I didn't none of those. Only played the ones on Super Nintendo. Give me the OG Royal Rumble.
When you started talking about the old stuff, you definitely reminded me of one that I think is really great that we completely missed. Rock Band versus Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah, those were definitely dueling games, rivalries for a long time. It was like 7-8 year period where they just kept trading back and forth, and one would always one up the other. Right? It's like one of them would like do something, the next one would come out and they'd have more songs, and they would have more songs, and we've got a whole band, and we've got the Beatles, and like that was a console war, man.
Pick the wrong side.
Did
like
you? It's funny
the
thing.
Year
pick
when Rock Band was good, I picked Guitar Hero. In the year when Guitar Hero was good, I picked Rock Band. Like, God damn it, how I keep fucking this up?
I only had one Guitar Hero, and that was Guitar Hero 3. The rest of them I had Rock Band, mainly because I didn't know most of the songs. So I'm like, I don't want to play these games.
3 was the big one.
Yeah, I had 3.
3 is like when it hit mainstream. Like 1 was like viral, 2 was more of 1, 3 was like, boom, it's here. And then
I only got 3 because I got it from Circuit City when they were going out of business for like a couple dollars.
It was a long time, man. We had Guitar Hero the Beatles, Metallica,
I have the Beatles.
Green
I have the
Day,
Beatle rock band.
Aerosmith, and the Beatles had their own Beatles like
Yeah,
instruments.
that was
Right,
my
it was-
first. That
Yes,
was my
they
first
did.
one. That was the first one I got. So I have the Beatles rock band, and then I
think it was
went back
Guitar
and got
Hero
1 and 2.
3 had the actual character. Was that the one you could like battle Slash and shit?
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yep, that's
actually
the
in
one
the
I got.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See? I still have all of my games. I still have all my Guitar Hero games. Weirdly, I don't think they're worth anything, but for some odd reason, like I wanted to keep them. I always tell myself I got rid of Rock Band 4 Next Gen. I did eventually sell it off. The kids didn't play it, but I still have all of my Guitar Hero and Rock Band games for the Wii. I still have them all. I have like
I still
13.
have
Wow.
all of my rock band games for PS3 because every now and again the
I
kids will
still
want
have
to
my
play.
Wii guitar. Like I can still play it on Wii U. That's why I think that's why I kept them.
I still have Guitar Hero Live.
I do too. I still have the guitar. It's not a mistake.
Yeah.
Guitar Hero Live is great.
Does it still work?
It does, but none of the network stuff. So like 80% of the game doesn't. But the local stuff that you
Yeah,
could
see,
play,
that's what-
which was only like 30 songs, still works. I
I might try that. Then. The game was
that's
fun.
a game. That's a game that I hate that went the path that it did. I understand why it did, but it was the problem with those music to life games is that the fad ran out, right? Like that was the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody got tired of the same old, same old. Guitar Hero Live is legit trying to be something new. It's the only game out of all of them that tried to be something different, and everybody hated them for it. Like they just
was
crushed
great.
them for it. And the guitar felt great to play. And I think that's the thing that I think everybody didn't like. They can say it's the streaming. I don't think it is. I think it's that they changed the guitar, and people just weren't willing to learn the new guitar. But when you got used to Guitar Hero Live, and I put in hours on Guitar Hero, when you got used to it, I genuinely think it's the best one to play. It felt the most rewarding to play. When I was playing it well, it felt more like playing. It had chords. You had to hold multiple buttons at one time. Like it felt more similar to that illusion than just.
And I even like the
top
idea
button.
of like you're playing and the crowd's reacting to you. Like you're playing bad,
Yeah,
they
that
just
was
like turn on you.
Well-
You're playing good. They start cheering and going crazy.
They didn't
What?
do that in all of them.
no. That's what he's talking about. In
It's a
Guitar Hero,
live crowd.
in Guitar Hero Live, especially for the native, not everything, but for the native game, the songs that came included, they pre-recorded live crowds.
Yes.
And the live, like real life, real people, they would change how the crowd is reacting to you based on how you played. So not like little
Yes.
cartoon animators doing the same animation with the sign, like real people would start throwing shit at you. You
Yes.
see their
I don't
face.
think I would even notice that because I'd be too busy trying to land the damn buttons.
That's fair, but yeah, they put the fretboard over, so like when you see it, it's almost like a VR, like a first-person view from a stage. You're on stage
Yes.
looking into the crowd, and your fretboard is just in front of it. But the thing that I love most about Guitar Hero Live is actually the part that's been disabled. I think everybody really hated on the streaming part of it, and I thought it was genius. I absolutely know what they were trying to do. So the Guitar Hero and Rock Band, I don't even know why I'm doing this. You guys are, I don't know if you remember this. Dev might. When we started PSVG and we started the blog, I did a dueling review of Rock Band 4 versus Guitar Hero Live. It was a giant long, I probably did 8 pages on these two games.
Wow.
Guitar Hero Live had so Rock Band 4 went in the direction that everybody thought all games should go in. Rock Band became a service. We're just going to keep putting songs into a catalog. You just buy forever. You just keep playing Rock Band 4. And for years, that's what everybody said they wanted, right? Everybody was like, that's all we want. Rock Band 4 gave it to you, and I don't think that's what everybody wanted because everybody didn't buy the game. So
Yeah.
Guitar Hero Live said, well, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna charge you endlessly for all this different music and stuff. What we're gonna do is like watching music videos. Is they would grab music videos for songs that you could stream. So think about like you're turning on like the box or like MTV or VH1 from the 90s. What we remember.
Oh
You
my
know?
goodness,
Yes.
the box.
So you would be watching just legit music videos play, and they would just put the fretboard over that, and the songs would just rotate in and out of the service. And they had different channels at different times. And you could log into the rock station or the pop station. And I was like, this is because I think I really liked it because I love music videos. Like I loved watching music videos. I spent so much time watching music videos, and I think generally, I'm a little upset that like we don't have a music video station. Like we've got Vivo and YouTube.
Right?
That means I gotta go curate the music videos. Like I miss the days where I could just turn on. There was that channel
Just
a
give
while
me the
ago.
top 10, you know?
For a couple years ago, there was Palladia. And I
Palladia
really
was
loved,
dope.
I
Oh
really
my
loved
God, I love
Palladia.
Palladia.
They would do music videos, they do live concerts, they would come and go and mix and match. And that's what Guitar Hero Live was. You could just watch. And you know, the thing that I love most about Guitar Hero Live is it introduced me to a band called the Gaslight Anthem. They're one of my favorite bands now. And I hate that because they had disbanded by the time the game came out. And I never got a chance to see them live because I didn't know who they were when they were popular. They were never, I don't know, time in my life, I don't know. For whatever reason, fates did not bring us together while they were touring. I found them after they stopped. And when I tell you they're one of my favorite bands, like that's a band like almost like Chili Peppers level where I legit love 93% of every song they've ever written. Like they have entire albums that I love from top to finish. So I really love that. The game is special to me because I found that band. And I'm like, oh my God. And that's all. I really wish they did a reunion tour, but the nearest concert was in Chicago. I couldn't make it. I tried. I couldn't make it that weekend. But I really liked Guitar Hero Live. It was a neat game. I appreciate it for what it was trying to do. I hate that it died so fast. I really wish it could have stuck
really
around.
fast.
Yeah, I think in a better environment or I don't know, a different time, that game could really succeed. Because it was pretty cool, but it was like too much change too fast, right? And people are resistant to change. That's I talk about all the time. Video gamers are fickle, right? Yep. They whine and whine and whine and whine about how games are the same. Game comes out, it's not the same. They kill it for being different. Like it's just a tricky. Different. It's a balancing act. You gotta thread the needle with gamers. You gotta change things, but not too much. Keep it the same, but change it a little bit. Right? That's like what Mario's been able to do its whole time. That's what makes Mario special. It's kind of like with them. I think it was a good one. But yeah, Call of Duty. Rock Band, Guitar Hero is good. I said Call of Duty Battlefield. Do you guys think it's a rivalry?
It was.
Yes, rivalry.
Until Call of Duty mopped the floor with them. But it definitely was, because you definitely had your diehard Battlefield guys and you had your Call of Duty people. Call of Duty always won out, but there was definitely a rivalry there for a while.
That's another one I just played both.
There was points where people. Yeah, people will make the argument that sometimes people make, this Battlefield's better. Now you can't even close to make that argument. It's not even debatable.
Yeah. Only Battlefield I ever played was 4. No, I played 3. I forgot I played 3.
Bad Company.
3 and 4.
Bad Company 1 and 2.
I never played Bad Company.
Oh, they're so good.
They're still in digital plastic.
You should play them.
They're in physical plastic.
You should play them. They're really good. That's the thing with the Guitar Hero one. It's similar for me for these two because it's like, is it a rivalry? I realize that there are fans of each, but like the general people, if they're playing both, is it a rivalry? Like I didn't play 2K Sports and Madden or Live. I
knew people who were either Rock Band or Guitar Hero. Like I knew that there was definitely a rivalry with a lot of people that I knew. Like you either played one or the other. You didn't play both. I don't know very many people who actually played both.
I do remember
either you were really big on the guitar or you were like, I want to play as the whole band. So like we're a Rock Band house because my wife wants to sing.
People had a strong preference on the guitar. There are people that like the Guitar Hero controller or the people that like the Rock Band controller. But yeah, I played both. And the next one I was also going to say, this is interesting. I don't know if this is a rivalry. I don't know if I think about it as a rivalry, but I think it fits. Forza versus Gran Turismo.
Oh, that's definitely a rivalry. That is.
Is it?
I'm like, is it?
Is it?
I'm with you, Jeff.
It is.
I don't think that it is because they don't exist on both systems.
They don't release
the thing.
each other.
But
they don't release
each
other.
Go at each other.
They don't exist on both systems, but people always compare them because of the systems. Like, we have the better racing game.
It's just console wars, though. Is that the rivalry
it's more
of the
console
franchise?
wars, but it's a rival. It's not rivalry between franchises. It's rivalry between fan bases, more or less.
Okay.
It's a console. It's a console war. I don't think it's a fan base at all. I don't think that's a real rivalry. I really don't. I think it's a console war.
People compare those two games all the time.
They do
not
compare
now
them.
because Forza kind of
eats that lunch.
They've kind of eaten their lunch as of late.
They do.
So it's kind of not even a comparison now. Plus, Gran Turismo hasn't been consistent, to be honest, as of late.
Gran Turismo is kind of the one that And I have never played the recent one. I should. If Haley got it or something, maybe I might. Probably not. It just hasn't. There hasn't been
I
a
can
lot.
tell you right now, you're not going to play it.
There hasn't been a whole lot.
Once you get to that 8-minute intro, you're going to be like, fuck this. I'm not doing this.
All the microtransactions. Like,
No,
Gran
that
Turismo
intro.
is the one PlayStation game that kind of hurts to see where it is. Like, I kind of want it to come back. That's like the one that, like, man, I really wish they would do this better. You know? Because it's a bummer. I grew up playing a lot of Gran Turismo. I think I played the first 3, 4, like, religiously.
It's
Day
good.
one. Day one on
It's
Gran
really
Turismo.
good.
There's only what 6 of them at this point because you have the 1 and 2
spin-off.
that were on PlayStation, the original PlayStation. Then you had 3
Sport.
but wasn't Sport like?
Spin-off.
Because you had 3 on PS2. Which one was on PS3? PS3 was Sport, right?
It's like, and I
And
don't
then
know
you
if
had
it's
4.
because I didn't play the new one. I feel like Gran Turismo hasn't changed, hasn't evolved, hasn't grown up. It's just gotten prettier, you know, like prettier, more realistic. But like it hasn't done like
It's 7 altogether.
Yeah, that's what I
7.
thought. 7 of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I played the first 4, and I specifically remember I pre-ordered day one like Gran Turismo 2 and 3. I was all in on those after playing Gran
I never
Turismo.
pre-ordered any of them.
I got Gran
but I've
Turismo
had
1.
them.
I didn't get it at launch, but when I got Gran Turismo, I was like, this is like the racing game. Right. And then like slowly but surely it drifted away. And I would love for them to be like, nah, you gotta play Gran Turismo, it's amazing. But I'm way more excited for like Need for Speed.
Me
you know?
too.
Yeah. Like so many
Yeah.
car games have come out since the last time, and it's not even just a Forza thing. It's not an Xbox thing. Since the last time I was excited about a Gran Turismo game, I've played 20 racing games. We're talking F1 series and Burnout and Gotham. And like I've been so
Even
excited
Grid
for
Legends.
racing games that have nothing to do with Gran Turismo. It's like a decade. Like I was all in for like a generation and a half, and then I just left.
Yeah, it's because
vastly
Gran
different.
Turismo was the first time that it did something different where you really got the cars and you got to fool around with them and all of that stuff.
I love chasing
And
the
then-
license and upgrading.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And then Need for Speed came in. It was a whole different ballgame. It's like, oh, now
Yeah.
we're just going to run from the cops and we're going to get you all these exotics or whatnot. And it just completely changed the game where it became like
Because
the tuner culture versus the like, I just want to go fast culture. Like,
Yeah, but Gran Turismo is not even like the tuner culture. It's like very.
It's car enthusiast
It's
culture.
it's like the Porsche driving experience.
yeah.
You know, it's like Le Mans. Like it's
Yeah.
very kind of focused on performance. It's not like tuning. You know, you're not rocking like busted out tires and ridiculous spoilers and shit in Gran Turismo.
You're
oh, see,
fixing
when
the
I
car
say
up to
tuning,
be
I'm thinking
luxury.
about just performance and
Performance.
That's what
Okay,
I meant by
you
tuning.
say
Yeah.
tuning, I go to a completely different play. Like tuning is like what Need for Speed's doing. That's more like tuner culture. They're doing all kind of neon lights and body kits and underglows and
Yeah, I
offset
don't-
rims
yeah,
and
that's
tires. Like okay, I
Fast
was
and
going-
Furious. That's
Okay,
what
I
I,
was
when
gonna-
that's
I was
Fast
gonna-
and Furious.
yeah.
I love that stuff. That stuff is so like Need for Speed Underground
That's tuner
1
culture.
and 2 are like my favorite. Oh my god, I love those games.
Yeah,
That's why
tuner.
this Need for Speed Unbound, I'm real hyped for. Like, oh, this feels like Underground.
Gran Turismo is very like professional level UK Euro racing circuit simulation game.
Yes.
The real driving simulator.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. And I just wish they would grow up a little, or not grow. I mean, you'd say they're arguably the most grown up, but like I wish they would just venture out a little more, become a little more playful, a little more fun, be fun. But I guess that's not what people are there for, right?
Yeah,
That's not.
that's
what
what
they're
Forza Horizon is for.
Exactly, and that's why I like Forza
Yes.
Horizon. So before Gran Turismo, it was like outrun, cruising,
Just arcade racers.
arcade racers. Yeah, and Gran Turismo felt like I'm driving a Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
That was so cool.
Yep.
Until it wasn't. It's like now I want to drive a Ferrari outside, off a mountain cliff.
into some signs and collect
Yeah.
points.
I had another one on this list that I'm looking through. This is an interesting.
Virtual
list.
Fighter versus Tekken.
Ooh, I was gonna say for Soul Calibur, Tekken versus Soul Calibur.
Huh. You know,
This one I don't feel. I'm not. World of Warcraft versus EverQuest.
I remember that actually.
Yeah. EverCrack was huge.
That, strangely enough.
World of Warcraft just kind of came and it just dominated it. But there was definitely a time where it was like, which one are you playing?
EverQuest was it?
Yeah. I had a
EverQuest and then EverQuest 2, really. EverQuest 2 was probably the one.
He was like, hey, I want you to play with this with me. Here's EverQuest. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with that? I'm going to play a PC game?
I've been scared to. I've told Dev the stories. I'm scared to even try. I look at World of Warcraft and I legit think, I'm like, I might play that for an hour and put it down. I might play that for the next 9 years and never play another video game. Like, I'm not sure. It's one or the other, but I'm not sure, and I don't want to test it. I've been so scared to ever test World of Warcraft because I'm scared that, like, oh no, I have that knack about me. There are games like that. There are games not like that MMO, but what I would consider similar in that, like, that loop I've gotten lost in, and World of Warcraft scares the shit out of me. It literally does.
It's coming to Game Pass.
I'm terrified. It's the one game that I feel like I could just get lost in.
You really can.
Marvel Heroes got me like that for a little bit of time. And what was the DC one? DC Online?
DC Universe Online, yeah.
Yeah, both of those had me like that for a little bit.
I didn't fuck with those at all, but I did play EverCrack for a while, and World of Warcraft was
I got lost in like
that was a game.
Civ. Got lost in Civ for a while. Like a game like that can come along where I'm like, I just want to keep playing, And World of Warcraft has too much of things that I am familiar with. Too much of things like that.
You talk about a map game.
Yeah, I know.
There's not the puzzles. There's no puzzles for you, but there's a map game. Oh boy.
This website says Prototype versus Infamous.
I remember that. That was kind of a rivalry because
I never played Prototype.
I have it in plastic. I never played it either.
Like Infamous?
I did.
Kind of, because the dude gets powers. It's open world. Yeah, it's very similar.
I love Infamous.
Infamous slapped the shit out of that Prototype.
Yeah, it did.
I was late on Infamous. I didn't play Infamous when it released.
Prototype's fun, but it's not Infamous. It's not as polished as Infamous.
I think I got Infamous 1 or 2, or maybe 1 and 2 after PlayStation like doxed everybody. And we got free games. I think that's when that happened.
Okay. Our bad. Here are these free games.
And that's when I was like, this game is
motherfucker,
dope.
Everybody got my credit card information.
Yeah, I was also late to the PS3 too, so I just missed it then. Can you play Prototype on like back and pad or something?
I think so.
Maybe on Xbox, definitely not on PlayStation.
Yeah, I think on Xbox. It's a fun, dumb game.
I like fun, dumb games.
I think you would like
Steam.
Prototype.
Yeah, it definitely is on Steam.
I didn't know that either. I thought it was exclusive or something.
No.
It's not first party?
Haley said it's remastered for... It's
remastered. Is the remaster on Steam?
It might be.
Prototype 1 and 2.
Prototype 2 is on Steam.
2009 and 2012. I don't think this is a remaster then.
Well, you know if the remaster, if the
remaster might just be the PC version,
PC port, yeah.
I think that shit so much now. When I see remaster like in consoles, I'm like, that's just the PC version. I think that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What game was it? Assassin's Creed 3 or Rogue or both.
Mm-hmm.
The remasters that came to next gen and all that, those are just PC ports versions.
Mm-hmm.
And the PC versions are still better. They legit just turned up the sliders and resold games.
I still haven't played Rogue yet.
It's some shit. Like that is some shit that just allow that in the industry. They're like literally just like, nah. Like they didn't do anything. It is the PC game that they just went in and resolution higher, brightness higher. Just new game. $50.
Yeah. But
it's not a new game. It's the same game.
These console peasants won't know any better.
Oh man, God, coming to PC feels like an enlightenment.
I mean, I tried to show you the light years ago.
was
You
so
just
dumb.
refused. It was just the rebelliousness in you. That's what it was. You just wanted to be rebellious.
Prototype. Mostly
I
positive.
had a bad experience.
I'm putting them on the wish list. Maybe I'll get one or both on autumn sale.
I'm sure they'll be dirt cheap.
Haley, tell me if the remasters are way better than the PC versions. When did the remaster come out? Can somebody tell me that?
I don't know.
What year did the remaster come out? Because if it came out in like 2018, oh my god, I just typed in prototype remaster. This is the Inquisitor.com. Who knows? I'm not saying this is the right, but here's the headline. Prototype remaster for Xbox One is bad worse than the PlayStation 3 port.
Well, there you go.
This was penned in 2015.
2015, yeah.
Prototype 1 and 2 launched their remastered version, and it says, quotes, remastered version for Xbox One last week, but gamers and Prototype fans everywhere agreed that the remastered Prototype sucks. It's very bad. Oh, no.
There you go. That answers the question.
PC version is better.
Oh, there's a Digital Foundry on it. Ooh.
Oh, man.
I'm learning all kinds of shit.
Runs at 5 frames per second.
Ooh, God. An Xbox 360, this game ran at 19 frames a second. PlayStation 3 at 20. Xbox One, 26.
We just dealt with that. We just played that shit like it was okay. I'm so crazy.
You've made me snobby. I was talking about that on Player One, man. Player One.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm not saying this is like a veiled threat. I'm being dead serious. If the reports that come out, like Digital Foundry and everything, that Zelda, whatever it's called, runs like we think it might run on Switch, I'm not playing it. I'm gonna wait. I'm not playing 100 hours of a video game like that. Those days are behind me. I've moved on.
That makes me so happy.
I'm tired of it. And it's not. I hate.
I get it.
I don't
get
hate
it.
saying it. I believe it. I don't hate saying it. I hate how some people receive that. Some people receive that as like I'm being uppity or snobbish or something. I don't like that. It's you should want the same.
Right.
We should all want.
You want better for yourself.
Perform better than this. 19 frames a second? Are you fucking kidding me? It's 2022.
This is what happens when your eyes are open. This is what happens when your eyes are open. You understand.
Killing me with Bayonetta.
With my PS4,
Jack told me.
I just stopped playing it.
Jack told me that today, he goes, hey, I just want to warn you. I watched some footage of Pokemon on Switch. He's like, and the windmill in the background looks like stop animation. I was like, I may not play this Pokemon. And, he's one of them. He's like, that stuff doesn't bother me. I'm like, how can you say that? Like, you notice it. How does it not bother you? Like, if you see it. Like, you see it, right? You see it in front of you, and you're just okay? I don't get it. I'm not doing it. I'm not saying everything has to be 60. I've played really good games at 30. There are differences between there's good 30 and bad 30.
Yep,
Naughty Dog makes really good 30 frames per second games. Like there's good 30 and there's bad 30. I'm not saying it all has to be, but I'm just saying generally what the Switch is providing is at a level beneath what I'm willing to accept, I think, these days. I think I've moved on.
Yeah.
I think for certain cartoony type games, I think I'm fine.
Sports Story, it'll be fine. It'll be great.
Story, maybe I think Fire Emblem will be fine. All the Fire Emblem games we played have been fine.
But Zelda, I want better for you, Zelda. I wanted
better from Zelda Breath of the Wild when it released years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Korok Forest still runs at 19 frames a second.
That's so
it's
ridiculous.
Still blurry. Breath of the Wild is still blurry. And it's amazing. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And it's still technically blurry, low frame game. And I can't put 100 hours. I think I'm like maybe 250 plus hours of Breath of the Wild across all playthroughs and everything. I'm not doing it that level anymore. I won't.
Bring Zelda to PC, you cowards.
Just release a better system. I am really hoping that they announce a system. I don't know if they'll launch it with it after that. Like, just acknowledge it. Just acknowledge. We have another system.
Game Awards. I'll wait. Switch Pro coming with Zelda.
I did the same thing with Skyward Sword. When Skyward Sword came on the Wii, I was like, I'm over. I'm done with the Wii. Like that time had come and gone.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. It's not like I'm not anti-Switch or anything like that. It's just how I feel with the Switch now. The Switch is like the back end of the Wii. It's like I love that console. That console was great for a time and place, but I've moved on. I'm waiting for the Wii U. Like I'm waiting for them to like catch up. I need them to catch up and get back in the ballpark. They don't feel like they're in the ballpark right now. They're not in the city.
What's crazy is their sales don't say that. That's the problem. The
sales
don't reflect it.
This year.
So ridiculous. Like
they sold more Switches this year in what, year 6 of the Switch?
That's crazy.
More Switches this year than the Wii U sold ever. It's truth.
It's bad.
Wii U's lifetime sales, I think it's like 14 million. It might be less. I think it might be like 13 and a half.
12.5?
Last time I remember. I
inflated.
think it's like 13 or something like that. And they sold 19 million Switches this year based on their financials that came out last week.
Wow.
This year. They didn't even have that great of a year. They had a lot of content, but not like, nobody's like going to bat over Kirby, Wii Sports, and stuff like that.
Some people are. The Nintendo faithful are.
Hey, Kirby's really good, man.
Yeah.
I'm surprised my son hasn't asked me for it yet.
You should get it to him for his birthday or for Christmas. Because
It'll be
Kirby's
Christmas.
Kirby is really good.
It'll be
I forget
Christmas.
what it's called. That's like my favorite Kirby game. It's like what Zelda or what Sonic Frontiers is for Sonic. That Kirby is for Kirby.
Yeah, he's got his video game birthday list over here. We've got Yoshi's Crafted World,
Get Kirby. Kirby's better than that.
Sonic Mania, Pokemon.
Get Kirby. All these are better than Kirby. All of these are not as good as Kirby.
He's got Kirby up there.
One.
He just keeps adding stuff
Multiple
to it.
Kirby
Royal
games.
Rumble.
Kirby in the Forgotten
Royal
Land.
Rumble.
Mm-hmm. He watches this
What is Royal
YouTuber. Rumble? He wants a Royal Rumble game because he watches these. It's called Kid City, and they play some WWE game. So he wants a WWE game to play because they play it. He likes it.
Which one?
It's
so bad.
First of all, I'm not buying anything on the Switch. It's not a first party game.
I didn't know if that's all he played was the Switch.
No, he has my PS4 Pros in the living
Now
room.
we're talking. Now we're talking.
I buy him PS4 Pro
Very
games
good.
for anything that is not a Nintendo exclusive.
Dude, that Switch version of WWE is so bad. It's Moonfall bad.
Oof.
Speaking of Moonfall
It's
bad,
atrocious.
I watched a movie this weekend. I've generally been into like cars and racing and stuff, this whole year. I watched a movie that I'd never seen before this weekend called Driven. Have you seen this movie?
I feel like I've
think I've
heard
heard
of
of
it.
It has Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone, in it, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And he hums when he picks
I
up
have
the
seen
coins
this.
going around.
Sunshine from Remember the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It's pretty horrible.
That sounds
It's
about right.
terrible. It's Moonfall bad. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
was
bad.
thinking while I was watching. I was like, we have a new claim for the ring. Somebody has come from the ground. It is so bad. Driven is like everything wrong throughout all bad movies through the 90s put in one movie. And it came out in
sounds about right.
2001. It's so bad. It is terrible CG, a god-awful story. I mean, it is just real bad.
What made you watch that?
I think I was looking up, I think I just Googled race car movies or whatever. Because I recently went back through and I rewatched all the Mad Max films. And I've been rewatching Fast and Furious movies for the Fast and Furious X or whatever that's supposed to come out soon. So I've been just going through these movies and I was like, I should watch something different. And I've just watched so many of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've watched Ford versus Ferrari and Rush and so many of the good ones, Cannonball Run and Le Mans and stuff like that. And I just wanted to watch something I hadn't seen before. I wanted to watch something new. And I'd never seen that movie. And I was like, it's got Sylvester Stallone, who I generally like. It's about Indy cars, which is cool. Like, okay, here's the thing. There's not a lot of movies about Formula One or motor racing.
Yeah,
really. Which is I find that to be surprising.
Really?
For all the car movies that we have in the world, there's not I feel like F1 and IndyCar and stuff like that is rife for storytelling.
Maybe in the UK. I just
I
feel
don't
like
know.
that's not a genre here that anybody cares about.
I just think it's compelling, like action. It's fast cars, beautiful lifestyle. I think it's just kind of like a movie. I just feel like
Makes
it
sense.
appeals to that sort
Days
of
of
thing.
Thunder.
That blockbuster type. Yeah, exactly. That kind of feel. But
That movie sucked.
outside of Fast and Furious, here's the other thing. The Fast and Furious is so successful. You would think somebody would be like, we can't be the Fast and Furious, but we can leech off of that a little. Nobody's
You've
doing
seen
that.
All those bad movies you sent me.
Yeah.
Well, those are
They
just
kept trying
those are movies,
to do
those
that.
are movies nobody's. I mean, like somebody
Fast
actually
and Driving.
respectably trying to put on a respectable movie. There are a couple that I haven't seen. Apparently, there's a Need for Speed movie I never watched. That's on my list.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that movie. It's not
I hear that
great,
it's been really good.
but I enjoyed it.
Okay.
But yeah, you got to realize the Fast and the Furious has like Flash. F1 isn't flashy, so it's not as like
that's right. I disagree.
entertaining.
Yeah, I disagree with you.
When you think of it from just a general perspective, like
I still just
the underglow and all the cool stuff you do with the cars,
Yeah,
it
I get you.
becomes entertaining.
The difference
where these
being
F1 cars going around in a circle is
doesn't
not
have to
as
be, like,
entertaining.
well, I mean, the movie Rush is from about F1, and it's awesome. You seen
Never
Rush?
even heard of it. Never even heard of it.
Watch it. Give it a try. It's incredible.
No, not gonna happen.
Why?
You already know that. I have
try
no
it.
desire to watch. I haven't even watched all the Fast and Furious movies.
Okay.
I
Watch
don't care.
Watch the
I haven't
trailer
watched
for
the
Rush.
last one.
I haven't
Watch the
watched like the
trailer for
last
Rush.
4 or 5 of them.
Watch the
Not to
trailer.
mention, I
For
haven't
Rush.
watched Hobbs and Shaw either.
I'm not
I didn't
watching
watch
that.
that
That's
either.
supposed to be really
I don't
good.
watch it. I don't count that one. That one doesn't count. But yeah. Anyway, I watched Driven, and it's
Trash.
oh my god, it's abysmal. It was so bad that I was like, I have to see the end of this because it's this bad. You know, 'cause again, it came for the crown. It came for the crown. I was like, this is Moonfall bad. Now I'm invested. I'm invested. See? Thank you, Luke.
Yeah, I don't look at cars as sports at all, so
Oh,
it
man,
just doesn't
that's-
appeal to
that's
me
me.
in any way, shape, or form. I'm
Rush
sorry.
Let me just
Rush is
take
a
my
great-
time to say I appreciate the name Luke Trapwalker. That is a great name. That is a grade A name. Luke motherfucking Trapwalker.
Yeah, Rush is incredible. As
Fantastic.
is Ford versus Ferrari. Incredible movie. Really good.
The way you feel about like Star Wars is how I feel about everything you're mentioning right now. No, thank you. Sorry.
But you watched Need for Speed.
No, I didn't.
You said it was a good movie.
I said I heard it was good.
Kid Cudi's in it.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen half the Fast and Furious movies. I don't want to watch car movies.
Oh my god.
They're not car movies. They're about family.
Yeah, it came for the crown, and I think it might have the crown. Driven is now the crown for which all bad things must be weighed against.
Really?
It's impossibly bad. It's so bad.
I feel like that still belongs. For me, it still belongs to Double Team.
The CG is so awful. The
Rodman and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Come on.
That is a great
Doesn't
movie.
get any worse.
See,
so
look,
bad.
that's why
It's
yours
great.
doesn't get it. Listen to what
It's
Devin
greatly
just said.
bad. That movie's awful, but it's so good.
I haven't watched Cars yet, Electric, but I will. It's on the list. I haven't watched it. I normally don't watch animation movies.
I think when it comes to
I
bad
love
movies,
Cars.
Cars is good.
Cars is a great
Firestarter
movie.
remake is awful. That is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, it's the car. I know the car, like Lightning. It's basically like a metaphor or comparison, a parallel to Steve McQueen, which is dope.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
I had no idea.
I don't know, but I'm sure it is. Like I think it is because that makes sense to me. Do you know who Steve McQueen is?
Nope.
Bullet.
You're still speaking in a language I don't understand.
God.
I don't do cars or racing. It's just not part of my culture.
Okay.
This is what you do. Just go watch the Batman and fast forward to the chase scene in the Batman. There you go. You're welcome. You ain't gotta watch the rest of the movie. Just watch that chase scene. When Batman chases after the penguin
I'm good,
in the muscle
actually.
car. Scene's awesome.
You seen
You
one
probably
chase?
can find that scene on
You
YouTube.
seen one chase scene? You see them all.
No, that's not true. That is not true at all.
I can fast forward through those. It's like let's get to
Bullet has a
the real
fantastic chase
parts.
scene.
Wow. Well, this has been fun. It's a fun tangent.
It was to
Yeah, right.
Dev broke Donnie's spirits.
Just wind them up
Donnie's
one
like-
after the other.
Donnie's
Just
like, you know Steve
Matumbo
McQueen,
just
right?
got
And Dev's
here.
like, who is that white person?
Yeah. You know how he
Basically.
treats. You know how he treats me when I don't know some random rapper. You know, he's like, "How do you not know this? You live in Atlanta. Like, is that some sort of
ridiculous.
pre-qualification?" That's how I
It should
feel
be.
right now.
It should be. You should know the Dungeon Fam. I'm just
I
saying.
need Luke on the podcast. Look at this man. He's giving me car chase recommendations in the
Yeah.
chat.
I've heard that so
Luke
many
Trapwalk
times
on
that
the
Ronan
podcast.
has this great
Ronan?
chase car scene.
does.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen Ronan.
it's older, and
So many movies,
they always.
I can't remember them all.
What was it? I think the Italian Job they were trying to compare to
Euro.
the chase scene in Ronin. Yeah,
I watched the
whatever.
Italian Job. I don't like the Italian Job.
I've seen it. It's forgettable. I can't tell you anything about the movie other than when Most Def says I had a bad experience about the dogs. That's all I can tell you about that movie.
I'm going to put Ronan on the list. Ronan and Cars.
You've made the list. I love Cars, not because of the racing in
Look at
any
this
way, shape, or
brother.
form.
I don't like car movies. And he's like, I love Cars, the movie.
The Cars is not about racing. Like it has nothing to
about
do with
cars.
racing. No, it's not. It's a Disney movie that
Which
they
is
just
right.
turn them into cars.
I
It's
probably
not
don't like
really. Yeah, it's not really about the racing. That's like the
I don't
least.
do the kid movies.
So Cars racing probably is about maybe 12 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an Owen Wilson movie. That's a good way
Oh,
to put it.
fuck, it's getting worse. I heard he died last week. Did you hear that?
Yeah, he dies every other week, doesn't he?
He got. Garrett informed us all. Died by death by stingray. Stingray got Owen Wilson.
Oh my God, that was ridiculous. Ugh. God bless the internet.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful moment. I was laughing so damn hard listening to shit. He said it with such belief.
Yeah.
Oh, Wilson's dead.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Died?
He's like, wait a minute, I meant Crocodile Hunter. What? I have more questions. How did
Garrett.
you mix these two people up? Oh, I love
You're
that
better
now.
than this.
From now
He's
on,
12.
every time I see Owen Wilson, I'm gonna hear like, "Oh, crikey, I got a big one." You know, like, how did we
Let me
miss
stick
that?
my thumb up his butt. That ought to really piss it off.
That's what Garrett thinks when he thinks Owen Wilson. Oh God! Not Wedding Crashers. Not anything like that. Nope.
Jeez. Oh, Garrett.
That was great. It was a great moment in Shaq history. All right, let's get out of here. Long
Yeah,
show.
I was gonna say this has been fun, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 64, 5. I don't know, 60 something. At least I'm not saying 40 something like last time. So
think
we're
4.
Yeah.
closer.
Close enough.
Yeah. So feel free to follow us on all the socials at PSVG, pretty much everywhere. Give us a follow. Come hang out in our Discord. We talk a lot of trash and make a lot of fun of Delvin, much like we do here. Yeah.
Typical.
So-
Usual.
So come
Somebody's
hang
gonna
out.
keep you grounded.
Yeah.
Holy Ghost of podcasting.
Saying,
Got a
we
whole
gotta bring you
world
back
on
down.
of how amazing he is. Somebody's got to keep him down.
Yeah. We gotta bring you back down while
You're
Donnie is
tethered.
constantly trying to skirt off to other podcasts. We gotta bring him back too. All right.
We're your tethered to reality. Okay.
Keep me humble.
Yeah. Every week, Delvin just comes in. He's like, "I'm the best motherfucker here. The greatest thing you've ever seen. Hold my drink, bitch."
And on that note, play some video games.